Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560 toll free or 8 Broward or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group.
Okay.
Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, Neil, my queen, God.
How I love to lick a clit, and that is why I become a singing lesbian nun. Sister Mary Catherine was so impressed with what I'd done, she gave me action with her tongue.
Oh!
And you can see perceivingly that this song went to #1 because I was a nun.
Yes.
Found a way to make some cash and hope the royalties will laugh because retired nuns don't get none. I never made it that big because I didn't look that great, so I got me a new habit, doing drugs and getting laid. Had my one and only hit, and then the Vatican got pissed. The Pope said, there's my big... Now that I'm dead, I can reveal how much I wanted Sally Field to go whistling in my wheel.
Now, why do you hate that man so much? Why would you do that? I mean, I already had remembered that, even my age, my old... Speaking of drugs, by the way, I don't want to talk about that yet. Don't let me forget to talk about that. I had a bizarre, I had a weird, I had a strange experience yesterday. Woo! I mean, well, we'll get to it. So George comes in here, rushing in here. Why do you hate Rimmer so much? Why do you despise him so badly?
You asked me to remind you yesterday.
No, that's not the question. I understand what this says. But why do you despise him so intensely? For the same reason that most other people do? Is that what it is?
Sure, yeah.
No, seriously. Why do you hate the man?
He's cheap. He's arrogant without cause. And he stiffed me on the dinner that he promised.
Got me some crappy seats at the Air Canada Center, I'll tell you that. Really, really bad seats.
His wife is a wonderful woman.
His wife is a sweetheart. That's the only reason like you were asking me the other day, why, everybody asked you, why does Neil associate with Jeff Rimmer? Because his wife is a sweetheart. I love his wife. Seriously. She's one of the nicest people I've ever known in my life.
She's a mention.
What? Yeah, whatever that means. But he, he is what he is. He can't help it. He just is what he is. But he got me really crappy seats, which we could have used some binoculars in there. I will come back, by the way, because toward the end of the show yesterday, which we were abbreviated because of that wonderful Marlin game yesterday, Nice going, hey, Ed, do you think Levon can win 2 games this year?
No.
I don't think so. Just toward the end of that show, when we finally get a little bit of response, absolutely incorrect, you jackasses that were calling in there toward the end. Well, you're always bitching out people that don't go. I've never said that people don't show up at the Mac Arena. In fact, all year long I've been saying, isn't it amazing how lucky Wayne got with this deal, especially since his stock is down to like 11 and, what is it? Where's that thing about that Republic stock that they finally gave Wayne a check because times are getting tough? 11.9. The market goes up almost 200 points yesterday, the Dow, and AutoNation closed yesterday, $11.93 How do you like that? I like it. But at any rate, what the hell was I talking about before I get into Wayne?
Rimmer.
No, I wasn't talking about him. You were talking about him at length. About the people that show up, and we've had great attendance all year long. What I have been asking right from the beginning is, why are these people here? And I asked that question yesterday and didn't get the response I thought I should get. And you know something? I know I didn't get the response. You don't want to know why? Because they don't know what the hell they're doing there. They're killing time. And the point that I'm trying to make is that when you get more and when you price the average fan out, even in a place that's hockey crazy or sports crazy, whatever the sport might be, like Toronto with the hockey, and you wind up with all these other people in there and you say, these aren't the people that we used to have coming to the games. These are people that aren't just sitting on their hands. They're reading a goddamn book. They're in a coma. They don't know what they're doing here. And the same in a Mac Arena. No wonder I didn't have anybody respond to that question, because they could, if you held a gun to your head, they couldn't tell you what they're doing there. And people like that are the ones who are passing this stuff around and getting on their cell phones. Plastic posers. That's what we got. We got PP Stadium, and we also should just change the name to, keep it simple. Let's make it PP Arena. Plastic posers is what we mostly have in the Mac Arena. Oh, look, I'm here. They're, like I said yesterday, they're waving at people across the way, and there's nobody waving back, but they're waving as if somebody really gives a crap that they're there. Not to go into a big song and dance again about the people who sit in front of us, about a half a dozen of them. Mommy and daddy and grandma and grandpa and the 17 kids and holding them up in the air and waving and anything to have an excuse to wave something in front of your face just to make sure you can't see what's going on. And that's why most people don't give a crap whether that's going on or not, or whether they can see the goal light come on. They're not there for that. They're there to pose. They're there to see and to be seen. That's what it's all about. And assholes like that are the ones that destroy it for the very small, I don't know what percentage it is now, those of us who really go to see an event, whatever it is. That's my point. And that's why I'll second the emotion that I voiced yesterday if I'm the only one that says it. Just like Defoe. A nice going there, Defoe. Oh! Finally grew a small pair the last 2 days, telling these assholes about that NFL draft garbage. These draftniks, these no-life, low-life jackasses that think that that's an event that should require more than 30 seconds of their interest. Who gives a crap? Oh, yeah, but like he says, are the Bears going to draft a quarterback? Who cares about the Bears? How many Bears fans do we have here? 6? How many San Diego fans have we got here? 1? But it's another excuse. It's another event. It's another hype job, and people just all get sucked into it, man. People with no lives, they get sucked into it. Oh, it's something to do. Something exciting. Why is it exciting? Well, everybody said it was. Greg Reed, by the way, has a cracked coccyx. Can I say that on the air?
No.
Okay, Greg Reed has a cracked coccyx. I guess that makes it worse. He does. This man, you know the word schlamazel? Have you ever heard that word? Schlamazel is a Yiddish word that if you look it up in the Yiddish dictionary, Greg Reed's picture is next to it. He had mono last week, or the week before, for like a long time, spreading the disease around. Now he's got a cracked coccyx. Because he had a little accident at the pool, horsing around with the kids the other day, trying to be, overgrown child again. Trying to be something he's not. Like a broadcaster. That would also be something he's not. A schlamazel. He brings me a letter that came in this morning. WQM, here's the address. Sent to Sheridan Street, by the way. Are we on Sheridan Street anymore?
No.
Well, it's been about a month they've been off of Sheridan Street, but these people are a little slow. And on the front of the envelope, Greg Reed. Take a look at this. Take a look at this handwriting. Postmarked Broward, by the way. Probably somebody over the age of 600. It says, get rid of Neil Rogers, and it's spelled. See, we're on to you, Sam. We know you wrote it. Even Greg said that Sam wrote this hate letter. We're on to Sam. You know how we know? It's spelled with a D. R-O-D-G-E-R-S, like that ad in the Marlins opening day program. Get rid of Neil Rogers. Put him out of his misery. The lowlifes that listen to him will not be missed. The numbers that listen to him must be sick of him, too. No name, no nothing. Just scraggly, old, nasty, hateful, miserable, scrawling handwriting. So it's either Sam the Sham or it's some old fart in Broward. Some miserable old disgusting fart who's listening right now, by the way, just like the asshole that called the worst team this morning calling in about Christina Moron is leaving, which we already knew that. Doing everybody a public service. And this guy calls in. Now, I should have known right off the bat that this guy was a major asshole. Oh, we're sure going to miss Chris Moore on those broadcasts. Is there a hockey fan in the world that would miss Chris Moore on the broadcast?
No.
Somebody who refuses to describe the game?
No.
No. But this guy obviously knows nothing about the sport, like most people here. And then he goes on about, well, it's an opportunity for Gildy, and he has to throw in the gratuitous shot. Well, I hear they wanted Neil Rogers, but he's not of the right persuasion to broadcast those hockey games. Well, I have bad news for you, sir, because I'm going to be doing the Panther games next season. How do you like that? Oh! So blow it out your ass, mister. Neil Rogers will be doing Panthers hockey next season here on WQAM. Market's up 35. The NASDAQ's up 22. Oh! I don't know why you hate Rimmer so much. Just because the seats were bad. They weren't your seats. You didn't go there. He didn't get you seats in Maple Leaf Gardens a couple of years ago that had you jammed into the corner, like into the bricks in a corner somewhere. I mean, these seats, they may have been a million miles away, Rimmer, but at least they weren't obstructed view. That's something. That's the only good thing I could say about it. Oh, but you can see me. You can see me. Yeah, I could see him up there, Could see him up there in the press box putting on an act, flipping me the bird. But as far as seeing what was going on the ice, especially at the other end, forget it.
E-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. It's erection time.
Yes.
I'm gonna kick off my shoes, strip off my dress. It makes me wet when I see you get a big erection that's too big for my mouth. I want it mercenary and on top of you, and take it up my lubricated poop suit. Give me an erection and nail me to the wall.
Okay.
E-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. I want to drain your balls. I want your love and Wally out you when you shoot your Uzi. And then I'll give it a blow. In the morning it gets as big as this. At least until you take a piss. I want to wrap my lips around your pulsing tube and make your Wonder Worm explode with fluid. That's some erection, and it's uncircumcised. E-R-E-C-T-I-O-N. I want to drain your balls.
Got 15 at 560 WQN. Happy Tuesday to you. We got Hank coming up at 2. We got Jim Mandich. How do you like that, huh?
All right.
Coming up 6 to 10. Boosters on the road with that team. Oh boy. And then 10 o'clock we got Ed Kaplan with the odds on whether these no-lives will make it through the weekend with their NFL draft. Oh, but you don't understand. It's important stuff, man. Yeah, right. Garbage. Here, speaking of garbage, here's today's great letter to the editor in the Herald. And it won't be very significant. I mean, it is a dumb letter. It's only one sentence. But wait till you hear who signs it and when I tell you who this is. Only I would have noticed this. In fact, you know, every now and then they have those things that are put like in the want ads. They're like messages, like with kidnappings and ransom notes, and they put a message in the want ads. Well, maybe this was put in there for my benefit, and I didn't miss it. The letter says, could we possibly be bombing Kosovo to keep Chinagate off the front page? Question mark. That's it. Signed, Tracy Foster in Miami. Well, to most of you, probably to all of you, that means nothing, except for those of us, those of me, who sit in here and get these faxes out of the machine every morning. And this scraggly, crazy, wild writing, almost every single day of my life, comes in here, virtually all of it addressed to the worst team, by the way, none of which they see, because this isn't the fax machine for the sports nerds. So all you people that keep faxing stuff for the sports people in here, it goes right in the circular file immediately, if not sooner.
Oh!
Tracy Foster is the name that's usually on the bottom of those letters. If you could just see the handwriting, the scrawl, the hysteria, the psychosis, you would understand. And there it is in today's Miami Herald, a great letter to the editor from Tracy Foster. Nice going. Oh, speaking of the Herald, by the way, there is something good in there, but I should have known it was. Christ. From my good friend Howard Kleinberg. Nice going, Howard. This is to me one of the great columns that was ever written in the history of this town. Not just because Howard's a friend of mine and a good guy and a long-suffering Panther fan. Dinner at the Famous, that was great food. I'm going to read this a little later. This is bringing out. You probably never ate at the real Famous, did you? No, not a little spick like you. In fact, it was your people that ruined it. When your people started coming in, that's when the Famous started moving out. It's what always happens. The Jews get pushed out, and then some minorities come in. I don't want to mention any specific groups, but the Jews get pushed out, and the next thing you know, minorities start coming in, and there goes the neighborhood.
Boy!
That's right. What?
Cubans didn't bring any neighborhoods down.
On the beach?
There are no
the Mariolitos didn't bring down parts of
the
Miami
Mariolitos,
Beach?
they don't count. Those are crazy prisoners.
Oh, okay. Here's Doral. Hello. Doral. 8 minutes and 26 seconds. And counting. Our first call of the day.
Hello, Neil.
Yeah, get with it.
Hey, what's going on, Neil?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, pretty good. I couldn't agree with you any more on your statement saying that we're being priced out of sports. Absolutely, I would not,
See, it's a bunch of plastic posers. These are the people who can afford to show up for the most part. They're not there to see the game. They're there to put on this big act for each other. And the point I was trying to make yesterday, which evidently I didn't put over very successfully, was I would, for the most part, rather sit home in the comfort of my living room. And if the game is on TV for free, why should I go there and be surrounded by a bunch of people who don't care about the game in the first place and who are there to schmooze and to interfere with my ability to enjoy it? Who needs that?
Yeah, and don't forget to look important on their cellular phone.
Right.
If I could get the cellular every time, like if I go to the gym, right, I actually see people on the treadmill on the phone.
On the treadmill.
What could you possibly be talking about?
Breathing heavy. Maybe they're having bone sex.
You talk about being plastic, man. And as far as yesterday, I got satisfaction seeing the Marlins get clobbered, especially the pitcher. What's his name?
Levon.
Yeah.
Levon.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, but Elton John had a great song about him. Remember that? Can Levon win 6 games this year? And,
what do you think they're going to do?
No.
You think they're going to do it?
I think they will definitely lose over 100 games this year.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Alex is on the DL, by the way. Did you see that? Alex Fernandez, which maybe he'll come back and maybe he won't, although it's not as bad. All these athletes here, they have to send to Alabama with something on their knee.
Yeah, that's
Pavel Bure first, and now Alex Fernandez. All send to that doctor in Alabama. Because finding a good doctor down here, I don't have to tell you, boys, like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, and as far as getting that stadium in downtown, no chance.
Isn't that amazing? All these jerks that were on here just a week or 10 days ago, like it was a done deal. Oh yeah, it's not a question of if, it's just a question of where we're going to put it. Not a question of whether we're going to have a stadium or we need one or the public is going to support this. How in God's name could anybody with a brain now, with this garbage product they're trying to pawn off on the public, where there's no interest whatsoever, it's very obvious, how can they expect anybody to spend any money, especially in a town that's already bankrupt?
Exactly, no chance. One thing before I go, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You played some for me about 2 years ago. I think it's called, I heard it on the radio. No, I saw it on the radio.
Yeah.
Could you play that for me?
I'll think about it.
Appreciate it, Neil.
Okay. See ya. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Just let one person call here and say we need a baseball stadium, and believe me, I'll get really pissed off and fired up. A baseball stadium. Are you people out of your minds? Is that the problem? So we can have another place for plastic posers to go who don't know what the hell they're watching and don't have any interest? That's what's happened to your sports, boys and girls. They have priced it out of the realm of the ordinary fan and their families. Those people that really want to go, the people that used to be able to go, that actually give a crap about what's going on out there. And so now the people who are there, like I said, a whole day I spent yesterday, 3 hours and 5 minutes, couldn't get an answer. Why do they go? And they can't answer it. They couldn't tell you. Because 90% of them don't give a flying crap about what's going out there out on the field, on the ice, whatever the hell it is. They're there so we can be impressed by their presence. Like at holiday time. Are you impressed with my present? Huh?
No.
Yeah, like I thought. Are you impressed with the free seats you got from Rimmer there?
No.
Oh, my God. I mean, if that's the best you can do, if that's the best you can do, I'll talk to my good friend Joe Bowen. I'll talk to Harry Neal. I'll talk to the people on the inside up there if I want to go back there. Maybe I'd enjoy the Air Canada Center better if I had good seats and I could sit with the real fans. Not over there in my section where everybody, at least only scored 5 times in those first 2 periods. I didn't stay for the 4 goals in the third, but 5 times I'm up there screaming and shouting, and they're all sitting on their hands. I felt like, and I'm not going to say I felt like I was back in Miami, because at least if nothing else here, when the Panthers score, even without seeing the goal light, they're up there, hey, Why, I'm not sure, but they're doing it. Give them an excuse to makes it look like they really know what's going on. Oh, and by the way, I've decided I had that tough dilemma. I am giving away, I brought them in today, my tickets for Saturday, Panthers in Tampa Bay. But I decided to go tomorrow, not because they, Kirk McLean, by the way, played great last night. Denise Potvin, that dumb frog, comes up with a new name for Kirk McLean. His name now is Sean McLean. Yeah, he called him Sean McLean last night. Great night, great going there, Kirk. Cuts out Ottawa, 2-0. But that's not why I'm going. Oh, and so if we got a Sean McLean, then our other goalie must be Kirk Burke. Is that what it is? Kirk Burke rhymes with jerk, which is you, Denise, you idiot, you dumb frog, which hopefully we'll get that tape today. But I've decided I am going tomorrow if Beth Cohen gets to sing the national anthems, because we got the Montreal Canadiens, so there'll be 2 national anthems tomorrow. And I want to hear Beth Cohen sing O Canada. Maybe we'll hear from Beth today. We love you, Beth. You're the best. Comes the end of the year, and we finally got somebody that can sing a stirring, great rendition of the national anthems. Nice going, Beth. You're the best, sweetheart. And, of course, why not have a Jew singing Sunrise, Isn't that appropriate, having a Jewish lady? The Schwarzer, the black guy, he's very good. What was his name? Sean Ebron, something like that? The guy with a little earring, with no hair? He's excellent, but not as good as Beth. I hate to say that. Not because she's Jewish, not because he's got a suntan, but because she's a little bit better. He's great, but she's better. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Hey, about a 15-year listener, never called.
All right.
I've been to...
You looking forward to my broadcast of Panthers hockey?
That's what I'm calling you about.
Yeah.
Is your partner still going to be Randy?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think I've been to all 40, all but 2 of the games.
Yeah.
I've never imposed on you. Not because I don't like you.
Imposed on me for what?
Just to say hello, stick my puss in your face or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I hear you can see the goal light from up on the sky level where you'll be calling the game.
That's good.
All right, Neil.
That's the only place you can see it, by the way.
Yeah, and you see it real good from up there.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck to you next
year. In fact, that's always Denise Potvin's excuse, blinded by the light.
And go Sean McLean.
Okay, thanks.
It's been a pleasure. Good luck next year.
Okay, see you. Does this guy really believe I'm doing the games? See, I would be great because I have called hockey and I'm probably one of the best in North America next to Joe Bowen. But the chances of my working for Wayne Huizinga, is there any chance of that? Of course not. I mean, I could say to Greg Reed, hey, I'll do the home games. I can't go on the road and screw up my schedule of this show because that's where we make all the money on this show. I could say that. And the Panthers would say, No. I'm not going to be a suck ass because when you work involved in any way, because you don't work for the radio station, you work for the organization. So you have to be an ass sucker. You have to get the tongue out, licky. And I'm not going to lick Wayne, you know. There's some things I lick, you know, but not Wayne. So who knows what evil lurks? Who's going to be the next radio voice of the Panthers? Chris Moore is out. You know something? Real hockey fans, all 10 of us in this town, ought to be having big parties all over the place. Oh! 6 years, not of mediocrity, 6 years of totally grotesque, unacceptable work. Making the most exciting sporting event in the world sound terminally dull and boring. Only that orange-headed jerk, Paul Harvey Jr., only he thought that this guy was a hockey broadcaster, and only because he never heard anybody do it besides him. You know, it's like if you went into a doctor's office, and they drew blood, you know, and they left this big, gigantic welt on your arm, like the one I have on my left arm right now, and you thought, hey, that was a great job, you know, it didn't hurt too bad. If it was the only time in your life you ever had blood drawn, you wouldn't know that it doesn't have to look like that, it doesn't have to feel like that. Do you know what I'm saying? If they tied the tourniquet around your arm, like 10 times too tight before they took the blood out, and they left it there while they were talking up, like that, and you felt like you were laying to filling, like all of a sudden you were becoming orthodox. Like you were jonesing for some matzah and it was the middle of July and you couldn't figure out why. Huh? Then you would know. If that was your only experience, you'd think, this was great. It's like the thing with the ice cream I'm always talking about. If you never had any other flavor besides vanilla, you'd think, hey, this is pretty good stuff. Do you follow what I'm saying? If you only had sex with Roseanne Barr, you'd think, not bad. Ooh. 10:26. If you only had sex with, Brooke Daniels.
Neil Rogers got.
Yeah. 5 hits, and I'm weak. It mellows me out for the peace I seek. Light that bong, here I go again. I got the munchies, makes me want to snack. And then I'll lie down, gonna take a nap. And then I'll get up and I'm making tracks. A couple of tokes, and the buzz is coming back. Now I get a thrill when I roll that weed. Talk about my favorite sensibility seed. Make some extra cash and I'll sell you a liter too. 'Cause I only roll up, only smoke the best. Boy, I'm gonna hate to take that urine test.
Yeah, man.
My back porch is worth God only knows where the illegal grass grows. That is good stuff, man. Give me a call, please. Come on.
All right. 10:32 at 560 WQAM. So anyway, we just got a copy of our good, close personal friend David Halberstam's book, Sports on Radio in New York, which that little ass sucker, that little twit, Barry Jackass, was quoting from here a few days ago about Christina Moore. On page 89, and this is an interesting book, by the way. Of course, I'm just leafing through it, and boy, it brings back a lot of incredible memories, even if you're not from New York. But if you know all these sportscasters, here's even 2 pages of Foster Hewitt in here. How do you like that, eh? But every announcer that's ever been born, here's the young Marv Albert in here before he started making all those backbiting comments. And here's the great Jim Woods. Here's the putrid Jack Brickhouse. Johnny Most. We was robbed. Here's Chick Hearn. Man, this is great stuff. Now, I don't, here's Gary Thorne. Good guy, Gary Thorne. Does a good job. A little bit hysterical, but he does a good job on ESPN. He's no Denise Pot fan, but So anyway, here's what it says about Christina Moore. And evidently Dale Arnold, who is terminally boring, who does the Bruins games on Nesson, he preceded Chris Moore in Jersey with the Devils games. And it's talking about Gene Hart, the one-time Flyers for many, many years, great broadcaster. It says Hart had a definite opinion on Arnold's replacement in 1988 on WABC. It's a TV call referring to the style of Chris Moore, who got his NHL break with the Devils. And then unfortunately, David Halberstam goes on to suck Chris's ass. He says Chris spent 4 seasons in New Jersey, a period in which he did a good job of breaking in a woman color commentator, Sherry Ross. Moore's easygoing conversational style was quite disarming, enabling Ross to feel comfortable behind the microphone. Sherry, a one-time reporter, returned to the newspaper after 4 years. Unlike Susan Waldman, who's done some color, Sherry was not quite as emotional or vehement in her on-the-air opinions. While Moore was criticized for a non-radio, non-descriptive style, yes, he knew hockey and would make bold comments that other play-by-play people would be afraid to make. If they continue this open style, they won't win. This one sentence is quite redeeming and captures 1,000 words. Huh? When Moore wasn't renewed in New Jersey in 1993, he was hired by the expansion Florida Panthers and has enjoyed a successful career as play-by-play man and talk show host, not in South Florida. Mike Miller, a solid, technically accurate announcer, more in the mold of Arnold, followed Moore at the Meadowlands with the Devils. But this book looks pretty interesting. In fact, I think I'm going to read it today. Here's Ted Husing. Anybody remember Ted Husing?
No.
Of course not. Going way, way back. This is Jack Buck. Sports on Radio in New York, a play-by-play history by David Halberstam. Lots of good pictures in here. There's Mike Francesa and Chris Russo and all sorts of folks. Art Rust. Any interest?
No.
I didn't think so. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir? I got an idea for all these people that want to have a baseball stadium with a dome. I said move the Marlins to the Miami Arena. They probably have a sellout every game.
Yeah, they got a dome. That's right. They can play inside. And with the seats,
and it wouldn't be very far for a home run either.
With the seats they'd have to cut out to make room for the baseball field, they'd probably have about 1,500 seats. That should be enough.
I think so.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
And back to it. Can you imagine the crowds, and I use that term loosely, they're going to have out there by July when it gets to be 100. It was 94 on Sunday with their 14,000 announced they had out there for Alex Fernandez. And if it wouldn't have been for those 16 Cubans that came out to see their hero Alex Fernandez, you can imagine what kind of a crowd it would have been. There's no interest. Just like you mark my words, there will be no interest. I'm giving away these tickets and my personal parking pass for the Lightning Panthers game on Saturday. And let me preface it by saying this. I will verbally assault anyone who is going to go to that game. Verbally. I mean, it's a free country if you got the tickets. I love the old line. Well, I already paid for them. So what does that have to do with it? You already paid for them. It would be like if you went to the store and you bought like a 6-pack of beer and you drank one of them and it was like, 20 years old. It was stale, sour, rotten, flat, whatever it was. And you started drinking the other ones. Well, I might as well drink them because I already paid for them. So, yes, I am going to attack anybody who plans on going to that game Saturday. The Panthers and Tampa Bay, what could you possibly be thinking of? What kind of a life could you possibly have that you have that much spare time on a Saturday night that you would go to see such a grotesque excuse for an event? Here's a mobile in North Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Well, I hope that I am the one that you want to rag on about the hockey because
you're my only call. They don't want these tickets. This is going to be the first time in the history of this show I'm giving something away that's actually worth like 57 times 2, $115, and the parking about $135. There will be no takers. You watch.
Well,
Mark my words.
I want to tell you, I want to be the taker, and I'll explain to you why.
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old son who plays goalie on a roller hockey team.
Yeah. Oh, roller hockey. Roller hockey, did you say? No. 567. What are you laughing about? 0560 and pound 560 on a mobile one line. You'll see. There'd be no interest in these tickets. I mean, what kind of a bird brain would go to that game? Huh? The Lightning and the Panthers? Two teams not only not going to make the playoffs, but two of the worst. I mean, the Panthers just decimated with injuries, and even when the injuries, forgetting about the injuries, not too much to write home about either all year. I mean, for the kind of money that they're charging, and I don't care what anybody says, they've shown up in big numbers, and like I said, because they don't really care about the product out there, and Wayne's very lucky about that. Once again, he winds up with a big horseshoe in his rectum, even though that stock ain't worth a crap. The kind of product that they put out there these last 2 years, the fact that anybody is willing, forgetting about paying for the tickets, just even to show up, that's a major miracle. But that's the American effing way now, see, with the whole sports deal. It's like you're supposed to feel obligated to go. Even if they go out there and put a garbage product out there in front of you, you're supposed to feel obligated. Even if they just soak the crap out of you, if they squeeze the lifeblood out of your bank account, you're supposed to feel like, oh, well, it's my duty to go.
Holy cow, Aaron's coming.
Well, I was strung out on drugs and I puked on the rug 'cause I was filled with liquor and lube. When you walked a man with a card in his hand, said I'm a friend of Bill W.
All right.
He said, hey, thin fella with your skin turning yellow, your breath's 100 proof. Your visions are clear 'cause you're sharing a beer with a woman who's got number two. She was a fool. Won't you give me 12 steps? Give me 12 steps, sponsor. Give me 13, maybe more.
No.
Trying to brush something off of my shoulder. Turned out it was the floor. Yeah. Won't you give me 12 steps? Give me 12 steps, sponsor. Give me 13, maybe more. I'm getting real tired of blowing my paycheck, then blowing 1.4. Drive me to detox.
1044 at 560 WQM. Of course, if you stay home and watch all these sporting events, you can't have nobody spill their beer all over you. What fun is that? Here's the fax that says, Neil, did you hear that Chris Moron is leaving the Panthers broadcast after this season?
No.
Did you hear that, George?
No.
Didn't hear that. Check the Herald Sports page. It's on the second or third page.
No.
Have we heard about that?
No.
Not since yesterday.
What are we going to do now? Yeah, we were told, yeah, you know, it's, now I don't want to knock Bluff Lindsay, Pussy Galore, our program director, because he did a good service for us this morning. DirecTV had turned off our thing in here, our subscription, and I thought in the beginning maybe we had been lied to again because, you know, these people don't pay their bills. But at any rate, they actually had paid this one, but they put it on the wrong account. So Bluff got on the phone there with DirecTV, and bada beep, bada boom, you know, he really butched up and got it all straightened out. And like 9:45 there was our stuff. There's, right there's the stuff.
Jack Welch has been tremendous at this.
Yeah, right, get out of here. So, at any rate, I don't want to rip him, but he comes in here yesterday, and like during a commercial break, and he walks up to me and like whispers, like somebody had just died. Seriously. This is not for air, and I want you to keep this real quiet because we don't want to put this, seriously, like somebody had died. And he announces to me that Christina Moron won't be coming back next year to the Panthers, which I already knew that anyway. But we didn't want to put it on the air because we wanted the Panthers to announce it first. We didn't want to preempt their opportunity to announce that this bozo, this total absolute waste of space, is not coming back to monotone his way through the games next year and put everybody into a coma. Not just a bad performance the last 3 years, the last 6 years, a disgraceful performance. Taking something that exciting and making it terminally boring by refusing to, inject any enthusiasm, excitement, or even describe what's going on. I wonder how they feel about that in Toronto, eh? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
You're in Toronto?
Sure am.
Nice weather on Sunday, by the way. Damn near you couldn't get out of there.
Hey, well, listen, we want to thank you for the souvenir you left.
Oh, yeah. At the Eaton Center, right.
Hey, we've all been
I only
there.
found one. Look over there by Arby's there in the food court. There was another one on the floor, too, I think.
Oh, it's terrible. Sorry to hear that.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, pal.
Oh, hey, it's happened to me, except it was in North Carolina.
Oh, that's a good place to leave it.
Sure was.
Now, listen, have you been in the Air Canada Center?
Yes, I was in there for a basketball game because we can't get near a hockey game. They're sold out for another 400 years.
But, now see, I don't know about for the Raptors, but for the Maple Leafs, I was so depressed and disappointed. Now, it's a beautiful building, and except for the fact that the hallways are too narrow, they have great food out there, a tremendous selection of food. The hallways are too narrow, so it's jammed up real bad. But inside it's beautiful. However, the atmosphere in there was as sterile as the inside of a Band-Aid box.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, the first thing that has to go are those stupid idiots that the waiters would have taken the orders.
Right, exactly. You never would see that at Maple Leaf Gardens. At Maple Leaf Gardens, the people were there to see the game. They weren't there to, it's like we transplanted a whole bunch of plastic people from down here and we moved them up there. And then every time the Leafs scored in the first 2 periods Saturday night, I'm on my feet, I'm screaming, I'm cheering. All the people around me, they're in the red seats, they're sitting on their ass. And I'm not exaggerating, there wasn't one other person. I mean, down in the Platinums and the Golds, I guess that's where the real fans willing to spend that much money, they were cheering, they were on their feet. But in my section, I felt like out of place, like what am I screaming about?
Well, the thing is, you don't get real fans in that game because the Air Canada Centre is still new.
Yeah.
So you're getting all the plastic people coming out. It's a place to be seen. You can't get a real hockey fan will never get to a hockey game there. Not for, like I said, not for like the next 400 years.
Isn't this pathetic? This is what's happening to sports everywhere. They build these new venues, they overprice the tickets, and all these plastic posers wind up taking up all the seats. And like you said, they don't care what's going on in the ice. They're busy ordering food from the little, the order taker there with her little thing she's doing there with a computer. They're passing Visas and MasterCards back and forth and cash up and down the row. What kind of crap is that?
Oh, it's ridiculous. And now the Leafs are thinking about, they're deciding whether to sell playoff tickets to the general public, and they probably won't.
Of course not. Why should they do that when they got all these suckers locked in?
Yeah, no kidding. So listen, I'm calling about those Panther tickets. Can someone fly me down?
Believe me, you don't want to see this. Even the Leafs in their worst years never played a game like that's going to be Saturday. The Panthers and the Lightning.
I know. I mean, why don't they just cancel the damn thing?
Exactly. Well said.
All right.
Say hi to Foster.
Will do.
Okay.
Thanks, Neil.
Call from Toronto, eh?
Oh!
There's a guy who knows what I'm talking about. Why can't this show be on all over the world instead of just down here with these nose pickers? Yeah, you're going back on your word now, buddy. Oh, some of those people in the last 15 minutes yesterday. Some of you morons out there. I have said right from the beginning of the year, at least I'm consistent about that, you got all these zillions of people showing up, and why are they there? Didn't I say that right in the beginning? All these people that don't seem to be interested in the event, whatever it is that they're supposedly, somebody is paying for those tickets. I'm not impressed by an asshole on a cell phone. And having traveled over much of the world, I hate to break the news to you, but they're on cell phones everywhere. In Italy, that's the big thing. On the streets of Rome, all those wops over there, they're on their cell phone, okay, because it's new and exciting, and I guess they feel it's, it's the American effing way. So they want to feel like, and in Amsterdam, they're on their cell phones. But here, it's old. It's older than Methuselah, okay? Everybody, even schleppers, have cell phones. Right? With the prices nowadays, everybody can afford a cell phone. So are we impressed by the fact that you have a cell phone stuck to your ear?
No.
No. Just like I'm coming home from the airport the other night. Oh, brother. I really should write, not a book, I should write a series of books. I could write a book on my visit to the doctor's office yesterday. I could write like an encyclopedia on that. You know what I'm talking about? I think you might know what I'm talking about. Oh, calm down. And I could certainly write a book on the driving here. And forget about the driving day in and day out. I'm just talking about in terms of coming back from trips out of town, which I do a lot. Try to get out of the airport, which I talked about last week, about how the idiots don't have any money, and you sit there just trying to pay your way out of there. I'd like to get home sometime before 4 in the morning, you know. And then the other night, I get out there around 8:36. And here, no, it was on the Palmetto. And let me say it again, the biggest assholes in the world clog up the Palmetto. Those are the people out there, assholes, clogging up that road. And there's a broad in the left-hand lane, and at this point, it's getting close to 103rd there, where it's like an 8-lane highway at that point. So there's 4 lanes going north and south on the Palmetto. And this young bitch, she's on the phone there. She's going nowhere in the left-hand lane, okay? So I finally am able to, and she's just backing up traffic. She's going like 45 miles an hour and a speed limit 65 or whatever it is. She's going way under, backing everybody up. So I finally get around to the right, and I pass her on the right. And I always do this when I pass an asshole. I look to see what is it that's behind the wheel. Like yesterday I had that happen to me. It was a dead man and his dead wife in the car. Seriously, dead men driving. It was on Sunrise Boulevard. I'm going home yesterday, and there was a man who must have been 400 years old driving, and his wife was 380. They were both dead, and they were driving the car. Barely moving. In the left-hand lane, of course. So I get next, and I look, and here's this young bitch. I don't want to say anything about her ethnicity, okay? She was white. But anyway, it was in Hialeah. But anyway, she's on a cell phone, okay? And she's like laughing, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm all alone in the car. And I started unleashing a series of obscenities, loud, screaming and yelling and carrying on, the likes of which you may have never heard in your life. I was so pissed off. You miserable, disgusting bitch, okay? You like that. She was so happy. She was having a good conversation. Oh, look at me. I'm driving. I'm in a car. She's got a key. She's dangerous. She's got the ignition key. She's a dangerous bitch. She's in the car. She's moving it. Not much. And she's on the cell phone, having a wonderful time. She had such a big smile on her puss. Maybe she had her finger I only saw one hand. She was going so slow she didn't have to have her hand on the wheel. Maybe that's why she had such a big smile on her puss. Bitch. Disgusting, obnoxious, young bitch. Get off the road, park it, get out of our face. We're not impressed with your stupid cell phone, you nauseating, obnoxious bitch. And have a nice day. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello?
Hey, Neil, you should write children's books.
What is it?
I said you should write children's books. Very descriptive.
Yeah.
You think it's bad there, you try riding through Houndale with those old blue hairs, and all you see is the white knuckles on the steering wheel.
Uh-huh.
That's a scary sight.
Yeah.
That'll get you nervous driving through there.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to be a sleeper this weekend.
Okay, 5670560. See, there's the difference. We had the call from Toronto. We had like a real living and breathing person on there, and then we had a call from Pembroke Pines, okay? Anybody thinks that I exaggerate or I make up the things that I say about this area and the people here and the callers we get, and just in general, the callers are a reflection of this town. Right there. Just compare the two calls, okay? Like a real honest-to-God person and that. Whatever that was, that thing. In fact, every day I come in here, you know who I speak to every day on this show?
All of these things.
Right. By the way, so this guy finally faxed me the article from the New York Times. You never read about it here because we get no information about anything here. And he was right. Sir, I apologize to you. I doubted your veracity, but you were right. Harness racing, 3 drivers suspended. Not that anybody here cares about this. George Brennan, Howard Parker, and Jim Morrill Jr. were suspended by the New Jersey Racing Commission. They've been suspended 6 months each and fined $500 each as a result of what officials called unsatisfactory performances last month. And it goes on to describe the race and about how, Parker had the heavy favorite, et cetera, and so on. And in other words, the perfecta paid suspiciously low, and the trifecta paid unbelievably suspiciously low. An investigation revealed that the bettor was Parker's chauffeur that cashed heavily on the exacta and the trifecta, who transported him from Freehold to the Meadowlands daily. The bettor earned $24,000 for his wagers, but has been unable to collect $6,000 because the judges ordered the pari-mutuel windows closed when they became suspicious of the payouts. The bettor, who was not identified, has hired an attorney to have the winnings released. Right. And Brennan insisted yesterday in that telephone interview all he did was follow the racing instructions of the owner, yada, yada, yada. Right. Attaboy, Georgie. Nice going. And they wonder why people are staying away from the tracks in droves, right? They can't figure it out. All the old track goers, they've died off. And they wonder why they can't attract that new young crowd, you know. Oh, and speaking of gambling, by the way, I got a whole bunch of stuff about that, of course. Leave it to the Herald and good old Governor Jeb. I thought we were going to get those slots at Pompano Park and all the pari-mutuels. I've been hearing my good buddy Ted Snell blowing smoke about that, and evidently he has been blowing smoke. Because as I suspected, Governor the Buchmeister, the Buchmann, he is vehemently opposed to any increasing of gambling, and of course he's that goody two-shoes. And here's another no to casinos. The message remains clear. Lead editorial in the Herald today. At least they just keep banging away. Oh! State is right to fight federal order allowing Indian casinos. That's right. When in doubt, stomp them out. That's what the Herald says because gambling is evil. But if you turn to the sports page, check out those ads for those gambling cruises, etc., and so on. And then turn over to the inside page. There we have the latest line on a girls' volleyball game from Elmira High against Virginia Tech. The Herald is just what it is. That's what Tracy Foster said.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Play on the radio. Oh!
He's the left center. Back to John Field. Back. He makes a one-handed catch against the bullpen. Oh, doctor.
Out on the porch in the summer heat. The sound of the Southern's voice filled the street. Me and the redhead were up in the catbird seat. And out in St. Louis for surely the same. Holy cow, what a baseball game. The sacks are loaded and here comes that man again. And it was play-by-play on the radio. Play-by-play on the radio.
Mr. DiMaggio's glide. The men at the mic made it kind of live. Ernie and Mel and Bob was the prince of the guy.
Yes.
Out of thin air, pictures somehow appear. You could smell the hot dogs and taste the beer. Felt the excitement as the crowd began to cheer. And it was play-by-play on the radio. Play-by-play on the radio. Play-by-play, I saw it on the radio. Play-by-play, I saw it on the radio.
There's a fly, it's right field, it's front field, it is! Right there, right field, the Tigers win it. It's on the three-line score, and it's all over.
Jojo swings, and there's a long drive. It's deep in the right field, going way back. She moves, and she kisses goodbye on the move for a home run.
The men at the mic, they make it come alive. Oh, what a catch! There's a long drive. Turn it up louder, the pictures are coming in fine. And it's play-by-play on the radio. Play-by-play on the radio. Play-by-play. Yesterday, play-by-play, I saw it on the radio. Play-by-play, I saw it on the radio.
It is going, it is going, it is going.
He hit it! Oh, my baby did it! He did it! He did it! Oh!
That's what I thought. I heard a voice behind me in Toronto at the Eaton Center Sunday going like that. He did it. But at any rate, good book, Dave Halberstam. I'm getting goosebumps just looking through the pictures in here. There's Marty Glickman, Al D. Regattas, Les Kiter. Anybody remember Les Kiter?
No.
Greatest boxing announcer in history, by the way. Les Kiter's been in Hawaii for 100 years. He's great. There's Spencer Ross. Anybody remember Racing from Roosevelt, Racing from Yonkers with Stan Bergstein and Spencer Ross?
No.
Of course not. And Dave Johnson before that? Nice call. Oh, by the way, we're going to be talking to Dave Johnson on Derby Day, of course. May 5th. I won't, well, remind me, don't mention the call. He blew the call the other day. I did see that race. I heard Defoe ripping him again. Just lay off, okay, Defoe? You're just jealous because your buddy is Phil Saltzman. Phil's a good guy, but don't put him in the same category with Dave Johnson and Tom Durkin, please, okay? He blew the call in the stretch. He saw the yellow cap, and he didn't want to call Pat Day anyway because, like me, he don't like Pat Day. We're not too big on those born-again Farbissons. But we'll be talking to the great Dave Johnson, no matter what Defoe thinks. Probably lost a bet on that race. Here's a Mobile and Davy. Hello. Mobile and Davy, yes, sir.
This is Joe. Nice to talk to you today.
Yes, sir.
First-time caller.
All right.
I went to the first game of the season this year, and you're going to rip me for saying this.
At
but
the Arena, yes? Oh, it was a Tampa game, right. I wasn't there.
Yeah. So here I am wanting to go to the last Panther game, and I figure it's going to be my best chance to actually see them for the price I can get them with all these. I don't know if there's many scalpers out there, but I got to imagine they're going to be going cheap tonight.
Tonight?
So, you know,
the game,
all
the game is tonight?
Yes. Not tonight. I mean Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
And I would like to have seen a better game. I should say a better.
Yeah.
But being a Panther fan that I am, as sorry as we are.
Those Panthers, they really blow. Yeah.
As sorry as we are, as sorry as they are. You know,
they're pathetic. They're tragic.
I figure.
By the way, Sean McLean, nice game last night, Sean. He didn't know that was his first name anymore, but nice going. Great game last night in goal. That's the only reason they won that game, and Ottawa wasn't that interested anyway, I guess.
Well, that's the reason they were able to pull it off.
I hate to break the news to my good friend Jeff Rimmer that he's Pont fan, but while you're worried about Kirk McLean getting hurt in the crease there, they've called a penalty shot, okay? The reason the guy's out there at center ice and all the rest of the teams are over by the bench, they've called a penalty shot, boys. Maybe I never saw anything like that in my life, okay? Rimmer will never live that down as long as he lives. They got a penalty shot, the most exciting play in hockey, which is called maybe only 15, 20 times a year in the whole league. Here's a penalty shot coming against the Panthers, which McLean stopped, by the way. Did you see that last night?
Yes, I did.
Yes?
I did see it.
How come Rimmer and Denise Potvin were like so distracted? I mean, by that time, McLean was already up and he was laughing. He was fine. I mean, take a look around and see what else is going out there, boys. Okay, hold on, Pat. You got it.
All right.
And enjoy the game, if that's possible.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hang on.
All right.
Okay, a good guy there on Davey. He's a good guy. I'll give him the tickets and the parking pass. That'll get that out of my hair, okay? And I'm not going to rip him. He wants to go for free. These are great seats. At least you got good seats, pal. And don't blame me if those people happen to show up Saturday night and hold their babies up in front of your head and you can't. In fact, you won't be sitting in those seats again probably, so bitch them out. Say, hey, put the kids down and cut the crap here already, you maniacs. See, one thing I don't understand about that family, there's one guy that shows up who's always coming right from business. He's always got a white shirt on, you know, and he brings his little girl, and I think he's the brother of the other guy that sits in front of us, and he's great. He's a good guy. His girl is like polite, and she sits in a seat, and there's none of this crap going on with him. He's part of that same family, I believe. But the other guy and the wife and the father and the mother and the 25 kids up and down and back and forth and waving and every possible way under the sun to make sure you don't enjoy, even if you could enjoy it, which most of our games you wouldn't anyway. Even if there's a Chinaman's chance that you might enjoy it, no chance. And that's the message I tried to convey yesterday and again today. And just like the guy I'm glad he called from Toronto to verify what I told you. I have no reason to make that up. That experience at the Air Canada Centre on Saturday was devastating to me, unbelievably disappointing. Forget about the crappy seats that Rimmer got us and how far away they were, even setting that aside. The same boring, tired, old, worn-out crap on a scoreboard there with that Gene Alda's clips from the same movies. I thought that was something original they were doing down here. But again, it's prefabricated. That's what you have in America now, all over North America. Prefabricated sporting events with prefabricated fans, prefabricated excitement, prefabricated applause. You see what I'm saying? I'm not for that. I don't go for that. I'm old enough to remember when you go to a game and there wasn't all those other trappings, and you got excited because you were into whatever was going on, and hopefully it was a quality event, and there was something exciting going on, maybe. Not now. Very sad.
Hey, Neil, fuck you.
There was an old farmer who lived on a rock. He sat in the meadow just shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and at 4:30, there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dress and she showed them her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children so they would not spit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt, while the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the fellow down by the dock. He looked like a man with a sizable home in the country with a big fence out front. If he asked her politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits. And maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick. And then she'd bend over and suck on his candy so tasty made of butterscotch. And then he'd spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had left out on her shelf. If you think this is dirty, you can go yourself.
11:14 is 560 WQN. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm getting goosebumps looking at this Dave Halberstam book. Problem is down here, most of the people down here grew up either here and never heard any of the great broadcasters because they couldn't hear those stations from all over the country like we could up north, or they grew up in some foreign country. I don't want to mention no names, you know. So what do they know about sportscasters? And now we get to the part. Here's all the ex-jocks. There's Joe Daggiola. Oh, my God. Oh, and Phil Rizzuto and Bill White. And who's the most illiterate one of them all? Fran Healy. I mean, it's not even a contest, okay? The thick-tongued, dullard Fran Healy. See, when the jocks took over sportscasting, then when it turned to crap. So yesterday, speaking of that, George told me, as usual, bad information. I was asking, where can you get those Atkins diet bars, the very low carbohydrate? Not that they're very good, but it's something, you know, something better than eating crap, eating with candy or something with a lot of carbohydrates in it. Oh, his wife goes and gets bags full of them at Publix, he says. So I go to my Publix yesterday afternoon. I scoured. I looked high. I looked low. I looked in the diet foods. I looked in the health foods. I looked in the candy section. I looked under every goddamn section. Did I find them?
No.
Then I went to Walgreens. I looked around in there. I looked, oh, and by the way, you know those, I got to tell you something, seriously. There have got to be, how come we're sitting here? Why aren't we making millions every day? There's so many stupid people out there. I'm at Walgreens and I'm looking back where they have the Slim Fast and all that dreck. And they've got all these diet bars. And I look at the carbohydrates on these, 50 grams, 35 grams. Low in fat, but loaded with carbohydrates. Is anybody going to probably lose weight with that crap?
No.
No. Even if that's all I eat is those bars, you know, a half a dozen of them a day. Are they going to lose weight?
No.
I mean, a half a dozen times 50, that's 300 grams a day of carbs. Couldn't find the goddamn Atkins, what do they call those? Advantage bars? And the only advantage is that they're low in carbs. Not that they taste very good. And you'd think that, you know, our good buddy Bob Lincoln, wouldn't you think that he'd have brought us a whole bag full of those? My good close personal friend Bob Lincoln that did those 2 great trips to Vegas and practically put us all into our graves. Viva Las Vegas. He's the best. He really is. He's a good guy. Okay, where are we going? Let's go. Well, he brings me a lot of free stuff, okay? He hooked me up with my good buddy Richard there on those European flights, which I'll tell you all about it after the next one and see how good it turns out to be. Get me off that Martin Scare airline. I mean, Martin Air is okay. It's the price is right, but if you don't mind being cramped up, like sitting like in a box, in a shoebox for 8.5, 9 hours, it's okay. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Speaking of Atkins, I was going to ask you, you mentioned those Tyson beef strips.
Right.
At one point, where do you get those?
Publix.
I can't find them.
Sure, all the Publix have got them. They're in the freezer section. You know where they have like the frozen bags, like stir-fry stuff, stir-fried chicken? That's where you'll find them, with the Tyson stuff in the frozen bag thing. Just look for the old bags in Publix.
And one more thing. You had once gotten a scale, one of those professional doctor scales?
Yes, sir.
Where did you get that?
Where did we get that, George? From a medical supply place
in Aventura.
Called, we don't know what it's called.
I forget.
Just look in in the yellow pages under medical supply.
Uh-huh.
And you'll find some place near you. They're all over the place. They're expensive. How much did I pay for that? Like $200-300? $300.
$300?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Like I said, get a crappy old scale at Kmart.
I got the crappy scale. Speaking of crappy, did you get the tape from the guy who said that he?
Not yet. He promised to, and believe me, the minute we get it, you'll hear it.
Thanks a lot, Neil.
Okay, pal.
All right.
Good luck. There's another guy that will try to lose some weight. All you fat people out there, I'm begging you, we got to lose some weight. We got to lose weight. I know I've been hawking this for the last, but as long as you're still breathing, kiss the ground that you're still alive. By the way, what are we having for lunch today? Well, you know, I've been eating these meatballs. The guy with that real nerdy voice that called here on Friday sounded like a dipshot, but he was right. I can't be eating meatballs. And you know something? Breadcrumbs add nothing to meatballs. You know why they put them in there?
Filler.
To hold them together.
Oh.
That's the only reason they put breadcrumbs in meatballs, is so that they don't all come apart while they're cooking them, like in whatever they cook them in. And they have no taste, breadcrumbs. None. Don't you think we could find somebody that makes meatballs without breadcrumbs? Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, and speaking of a place that makes meatballs, I would be remiss, since our good buddy's got more free publicity. The CityLink, it's out today, but I'm sure we won't get one up here. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe if we're lucky. You know, the best of that issue. Well, guess what? The best radio station, they picked Zeta. They faxed over this part. They didn't fax over the best radio personality. I guess they didn't want me to see. They picked, Brooke Daniels, somebody like that. Probably. But best place for pizza in Southwest Broward, George. Guess. I'll give you 48 guesses, and the first 49 don't count.
Pizza Loft?
Yes.
Yes.
Chef proprietor Jeff Cohen, in business since 1975, knows the secret of living up to his only restaurant's claim to fame as the world's best pizza. By the way, it's not the world's best pizza. It's good stuff, but, that's ridiculous. He hasn't expanded to a chain of restaurants, but kept the focus on one establishment with a seating for 180 where he serves a killer pizza. Toppings range from traditional to exotic. The secret's in the homemade tomato sauce topping and a dough so tasty you won't leave the crust on your plate. It'll be in your underwear. No wonder wait till you hear this. No wonder the women's bathroom has a wall of favorable reviews and an autographed picture of Pizza Loft fan Dan Marino. Well, you see, he knows that you're going to be spending a lot of time in the tea room when you eat there. I mean, like immediately after you've finished the last bite. Oh, see, listen, I got to make a quick move here. A quick movement. So they have plenty of time to read the stuff in there. Because they're going to be doing a lot of time in there. There you go. Nice going, Ponytail. More free publicity. He's probably feeding them free over there at CityLink. But we still haven't seen the rest of that. Here's a mobile in Parkland. Hello. Okay, nice talking to you, whatever that was. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you today?
Okay.
I read in the Miami Herald this morning. I just want to let you know how much Wayne an asshole is. He got his first paycheck in 3 years.
Huizinga gets first check in 3 years, but the good news, I got the article right in front of me here. The good news is shares of AutoNation closed Monday at $11.93. They would have to nearly double in price to reach the exercise price of Huizinga's options. So I guess we're going to have to take up a fundraiser for them because times are really tough for AutoNation, Republic, whatever you want to call it. They're in the crapper.
I'm telling you, Neil.
So his billion is probably only worth $600 million now, so we take up a collection.
Oh, my God. Geez, like he really needs it.
Exactly.
All right, Neil. Have a good day.
And back to you. Yeah, Wayne gets his first paycheck. Come on, let's cry some crocodile tears for good old Wayne, huh? Let's squirt him all over the place. First check in nearly 3 years from AutoNation, and of course you can understand why, because they're losing their ass. Especially people that bought that stock. Woo! 11 3/4. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's the great Jim Gordon. Anybody from New York remember Jim Gordon? Huh? Remember him?
No.
He's in this book by Halberstam. Here's the great Jim Woods, the possum. Boy, was he good. He worked with, he worked in a lot of places, but he worked with Bob Prince in Pittsburgh on KDKA and the Pirates for several years. He worked with the Yankees with Mel Allen and Red Barber for years in New York. Worked in St. Louis on KMOX with Harry Carey. The possum, Jim Woods. He was great. There's Vin Scully. And you know something? I've never been a Vin Scully fan, but last night I'm scouring after the last hockey was on. I'm scouring and I'm coming through the baseball package on the small dish, and there's the Dodger game. Dodgers in Arizona, which, by the way, they sure draw out there. And Vin Scully, of course, is doing the game on Fox. And as much as I'm not a Vin Scully fan, it's just so refreshing to hear a voice that, that you recognize and somebody that at least is a broadcaster, as opposed to just another dumb ex-jock. Oh, here's Bill Mazer. Boy, look at that picture. You talk about an old, unflattering picture. Not that he ever looked good. Bill Mazer, who started, of course, in Buffalo. Anybody remember him from Buffalo?
No.
WGR?
No.
Huh? Bill Mazer, and then went to New York and became like legendary on the radio there as a sports. Here's Marty Glickman again. Morty Glickman. 5'6". Anybody remember any of these people?
No.
Didn't think so. 567-0560. See, I'm in the wrong place. I'm in a place with people that I don't know what these people know. What do they know? Do they know anything at all?
No.
Where have they been? Do we know?
No.
Do we?
No.
God. Oh, don't let me forget to read this article a little later. Howard Kleinberg about the famous. Nice going, Howard. Seriously, where have you people been all your lives? The people from New York, what did they do when they were up there? Did they get lost in the subway and just keep riding around and around underground? Is that what it was?
Uh-huh.
They never came up for oxygen? All the people from the Midwest, I mean, any of the things that are the least bit interesting to me, do they have any concept of what I'm even talking about?
No.
Like that story about the three drivers at Freehold. So they wouldn't know a sulky if somebody stuck it in their rectum. They don't know what that is. Oh, you mean the buggy horses? Is that it? The buggies. Speaking of that, here's Pompano. Hello.
Speaking of older than dirt, how about Jerry Eisenberg? Is he in your book?
Who?
Jerry Eisenberg?
I never heard of him.
Another New York.
Well, let me look it up.
With Bill Mazer on Sports Extra, Channel 5, New York.
Eisenberg?
Yeah, with an I.
No.
I-Z.
Oh, with an I?
Yep.
We got Bob Eisenberg here with a real bad hairpiece in our sales department. Not in here.
That Hank would know it. It's one of Hank's compadres from
Yeah.
way back when.
Not in here.
Recognize all those names you were throwing at us.
You remember Jim Gordon?
Was he New York?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did the Knicks and the Rangers for years. You don't remember Jim Gordon? 45 years he was on the air up there.
Definitely Morty Glickman.
Morty. Here's Bob Murphy, a Lion Drive, and Ralph Kiner, who even with a stroke doesn't sound any worse than he used to before.
Kiner's Corner.
There's Harry. There's Harry Carey. He ain't sounding too good these days. In fact, I came across the very end of the Cub game yesterday afternoon when I got home, and I'm sitting there wondering, where the hell is Harry? It goes to show you how, you know what I'm saying? For just a few seconds, I'm wondering, where the hell is Harry? And then I realized, oh, he's dead, you know.
Well, they gave him a statue outside of Wrigley Field.
Yeah, at the very least.
But I, too, was scanning the baseball package last night and came upon Vince Scully. You know, it's unusual to find just one man in the booth doing a game.
He's still doing it by himself, and the games too, right?
What's the deal with that?
But that goes to show you don't need to have all these other illiterate ex-jocks in there. Right. That all got started with Monday Night Football, as you know. The concept that it takes 3 people in a booth to be entertaining and do a ball game. It's a bunch of crap.
And then when Jimmy decides to call it quit as a coach, he's going to get that job on Monday Night Football.
Oh, God.
End up going. That's Hank's been talking about that for the last couple of months. Ever since Jimmy said he was quitting, then came back like 20 minutes later. And Hank was saying that he'd already had discussions with ABC, and that if he leaves, he's got the job.
Great.
That's terrific. But, you know, I'm wondering in that game last night, and I've seen it before in the air, what's that little runway between the pitcher's mound and home plate and the Diamondbacks field?
Yeah.
You ever watching? It's just like it's a dirt path.
That's a throwback, way back.
Yeah,
you ever see any pictures from the real early days of baseball? They used to have that. I don't know what the hell they would call that, but I know what you're talking about.
The Little League.
They really draw it there, though, in Arizona. They really pack them in.
I was recently in Vegas, and I know you've talked many times about the Rosewood Grill.
Right.
And I went by during the day trying to find out what was up in it. It's there's no, like, grand entrance to that thing at all. It's just like a little door on the side.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find out what it's about because
Well, what do you mean what it's about? It's a steak and lobster place.
Okay. Because I went there and I was saying
it's very expensive, and, you know, I mean, it's okay. It's very good, but I still say if you want a great steak, Ruth's Chris has got it beaten and there's 2 Ruth's Chris's out there. There's one on Sahara Drive, and I don't know where the other one is.
Well, I stayed at New York when I was out there, and I spoke with the bartender, one of the bartenders there as I was playing, and he was saying that once, and now whether he's right or not, I don't know, he's like, it's kind of a tourist trap that they don't treat the non-locals real good in there. Has that been your experience at all?
The Rosewood Grill?
Yeah.
No, I always had a great time in there.
Because I ended up eating at Gallagher's in New York, which is an outstanding steakhouse. So, not that you're ever going to be there, but anybody who's going out there, but it was a real good experience at Gallagher's inside New York.
Okay.
And question for you. I
yes, sir.
A fact last night. I don't know if anybody forwarded it to you yet about parents who were suing everybody in town because their daughter was killed. Is that ridiculous or what? I mean, it's a tragedy, but for God's sakes, who else are they going to sue?
Well, you know what that is, don't you?
That's the American fucking way.
Exactly.
Have a good one.
And back to you.
Can't beat that gator meat.
So, how gay do you want to look today?
Pretty gay.
Like flippant raving gay or just kind of gay?
No, like really gay.
Great. Lean back.
How gay do you want to look today? Come to Gay Cuts, and we'll give you the perfect hairdo to suit your alternative style.
You want that tossy bangs look thing or the 2-layer thing around the back?
No matter how gay you are, Gay Cuts can fit your style. And don't forget to ask about our new specialty cuts, too. From back shavings to crack shavings, Gay Cuts will do it all.
Yeah, Sebastian just hates my hairy ass. If you could do something about that, we'd both be really happy.
Just bend over and say, smooth for me.
Gay Cuts. How gay do you want to look today?
Oh, I don't know. I'll think about it. Boy, this is a great book. You know something? This guy got screwed over so bad here, Dave Halberstam. It makes me my blood boil thinking about that Michael Mayo. Hold the Mayo. Oh, by the way, you know what they eat down there, French fries in Amsterdam? Mike Mayo. You phony baloney. You piece of turd. I bet you he popped wood the day that here at Halberstam got canned by the heat. I bet you he was walking around like with a Woody all day, with Woody Graber all day. Sorry, Woody. I wouldn't wish that on Woody Graber or anybody else. Oh, there's John Sterling, one of the all-time worst, one of the most bizarre, one of the most psychotic, one of the most unacceptable broadcasters in the history of the human race. How do all these losers wind up in New York? That's what I don't understand. They used to have all these great guys, and now they wind up with people like John Sterling and Fran Healy and the Scooter, and, oh, man, unacceptable. Even Al Troutwig sounds good compared to some of these guys, and he's pretty mediocre, eh? Old Canadian. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I remember Warner Wolf.
Warner Wolf.
Who created Let's Go to the Videotape.
Well, what do you mean you remember him? He's not still on?
I was in that area, you know, left in 1989, so I was up there for 15 years, and he was there when I got there.
How come Warner Wolf isn't in this book?
I think he might be too recent a vintage.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
he's still on. He's still doing that Let's Go to the Videotape crap.
Started on ABC local, I think Channel 7, then he moved to CBS, which was 2. But that's what I remember. And of course, I remember Bill Mazer.
Yeah.
And
started in Buffalo on WGR Buffalo. He used to do the Buffalo Bison's baseball games, minor league baseball back in the 50s, and then he went to WNBC in New York in '64 and looks horrible, but he's still alive, isn't he?
I actually remember watching baseball broadcasts in Virginia at my grandfather's house, and Red Barber doing the play-by-play.
Right.
And Mel Allen.
Right.
You know, early in the early days of...
One of the most embarrassing moments of Red Barber's career, he did in between innings, they used to do those live Ballantine spots. Remember Ballantine beer was a sponsor?
Sure.
And they had, like, in front of the broadcast booth, there were these, like, flower, whatever you'd call that, like a wooden thing with flowers in it. And he got done with the spot, and he held it up to his lips like he was going to drink the beer, and then he poured the beer out into the flower pot, and he didn't realize he was still on camera. Nice going, Red.
Remember the trademark for Ballantine? Make the 3-ring sign?
Sure.
Yeah. The reason I called basically was about the Atkins bars.
And what was the beer that sponsored the Pirates baseball?
Oh, wait a minute. Pabst.
No, Iron City.
Which one?
Iron City.
Iron City.
Well, that was a Pittsburgh. That was a regional beer.
Right, exactly. Atkins bars. You know where you can get them?
Please tell me.
Okay. Delight's Emporium in Jacaranda. You know the ice cream store?
What is it called?
Delight's Emporium in Jacaranda.
Delight's has a place in Jacaranda?
You know right where the new Publix is?
Yeah.
The opposite end of the parking lot? And Hobbs?
Well, what do you mean where the new Publix is?
Yeah, they built a brand new Publix at the opposite end of the parking lot from the old one and opened it up. And it's more like a super Publix. It's got the deli and the snack bar and the whole nine, you know, the bakery.
You're talking at Nob Hill and Cleary?
No. Sunrise and University. Just right there. Jacaranda, you know, they call it Jacaranda Plaza.
Oh, I know. You mean the place that was like all torn apart?
Right.
Right.
And there's a Delight's in there. You know, they reinvigorated that whole strip mall. They got a new bagel place there and party center.
Right.
Well, that Delight's has them, and also Sugar-Free Marketplace.
Oh, no. Oh, all of a sudden I'm starting to go into a coma.
Well, I mean, but
I won't be going near there anytime soon.
Well, it's out of the way, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's not anywhere nearby me, so I won't
But
be able to
Delight's
get up
is
there.
the best place because he's got them there.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, take
See
care.
Ya. Thanks. He didn't say sugar-free marketplace. Did he say that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, the place that's got all that stuff loaded with carbohydrates? Oh, he didn't say that. Huh? Sugar-free, but... See, let me say it again. I say it for the 10 millionth time. You do whatever you want to do, okay? It's a free world. I just give my advice based on my own personal experience, and believe me, especially after being to my hyperventilating doctor yesterday, I know my crap, okay? Even at the Eden Center in Toronto, they know my crap. They can still smell it from Sunday. But I mean, all of this low-fat and sugar-free, you look at the carbohydrates. If you're one of those people that has a problem that's fat because you can't handle carbohydrates. And by the way, somebody faxes me this information. Glucose and fructose increase fat in the bloodstream. See, some people think that if they don't eat refined sugar, that if they eat fructose, you see, that's part of the propaganda from the health food nuts over the years. As a matter of fact, some people say fructose is better for you because it doesn't cause the same rise in insulin levels after a meal, it says, which is important to diabetics. However, it seems to be particularly good at raising triglycerides after a meal high in fat. So if you want to just keep ballooning up like Defo is in the morning and like the Bookster, just keep eating your substitutes, fructose and glucose, and et cetera and so on. It says they did, this is really interesting. They tested the fat levels in the blood of 22 subjects who on 4 different occasions consumed milkshakes made alternatively with no sugar, fructose, glucose, and aspartame, NutraSweet. Fat levels were checked after fasting and before the study. Participants drank the milkshakes, then every 2 to 8 hours. Then every 2 hours for 8 hours. The investigators found the amount of fat absorbed from sugar-sweetened shakes was 38 to 60% more than from the unsweetened or artificially sweetened shakes, and that the fat stayed in the bloodstream longer after the milkshakes were consumed. So the no sugar of any kind was fine, and also the NutraSweet, the aspartame, was fine. But the fructose and the glucose and all these other things, cut the crap. Did you? Oh, you didn't see? I'm asking. Did you see these faxes? You don't see them anymore. Good. No, that's because it's right behind me now. I get all the faxes direct. Well, there's one that's kind of interesting. Here's a stack they say on the Atkins diet. A can of Canfield's Diet Chocolate Soda in a big glass. Add some ice. A couple of tablespoons of liquid whipping cream. Liquid whipping cream? What does that mean? And top with either Cool Whip or whipped cream. Total 1 carb. 1 carb.
You've been buying that chocolate soda for a long time now. It's great.
Canfield's?
Yeah.
Or a can of dyed root beer, and the same as above, total 1 carbs. It says last longer if you eat it with a spoon. And the shake, too. Also, pre-made meatballs in bag and microwavable, available at Sam's Club, 3-pound bag, 0 carbs. At Sam's Club. Well, they don't let me in there. There's one right by my house there. Oh, they won't let me in there. Oh, it's him? No, you don't let him in there. No, don't you have to have a card to get into Sam's Club? Huh?
I think so.
Yeah, well, I don't have no card. I only live I could walk from my house to there in 30 seconds. Oh, no, we don't want you. We don't like your kind.
And now, a moment in black history with Rahib Abdul-Jabbar.
Maisie was a polo woman, just barely getting by. And so to cook up some dandelion and rhubarb one day, Maisie laboriously squeezed corn cobs, extracting the oil until she had enough to fry up her grain. Her overseer, Cletus Ola, saw this and instructed Maisie to squeeze oil from corn all day long. He bottled it and sold it under the name Mazola Oil. Now what is up with that?
This has been another Black History Moment with Rahib Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, but what number does he wear? Okay, it's 11:44 at 560 WQM. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Yeah, Warner Wolf's still on CBS.
Right, that's what I said.
In fact, they had a deal on TV a few months ago where he was going on one of his rants and his teeth fell out and flew at the camera.
Yeah, I read about that, right.
Yeah. Well, speaking about local boys that made it big in New York, Boyd Gary, remember him?
No.
Boyd Gary?
Boyd Gary, he was our program director at IOD. You don't mean Boyd Gary from Howard Show, do you?
No, I mean from IOD. Is that the same? Are they two different people?
No, same guy.
Same guy.
Same nerd, real nerdy-looking guy.
Yeah, Imus was talking about him this morning. He was giving his opinion on radio people, and he described Boyd Gary as the single dumbest human being in radio.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Right.
That's it, Neil. I'm out of luck.
Okay, thanks. Okay, you don't think he was talking about the same. He might have been. Of course, I guess he never met any of these people here. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. In fact, in the Halberstam book, there is a picture of Don Imus in here from 20 years ago, and he looks 110 in this picture. Man, some people age gracefully. I mean, you know, getting old is nuts. Nature is evil. Because God would sure never do that, would he? Oh, and that's another thing about my doctor's visit yesterday, as bizarre as it was. He kept coming at me with the God. He used about 4 different occasions to throw the God thing in there. Like, you know, we can debate about this now, but even though I know you don't believe it, someday when we meet again, you know that stuff? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Which I become highly offended by when the God people start throwing the God stuff in my face. When I'm there to get a medical exam. It was a bizarre hour and a half. That's all I can say, Dr. Mark. It was very strange. Of course, he probably doesn't remember it, but it was very, very peculiar. It was very unusual. And I have a big, no, it's not really that bad. No, not nearly like the one I had at that clinic. I don't want to mention the name of the place from Cleveland, where they had that big lump on my arm. I mean, sometimes people take blood and they just find the vein, they hit it just right, and you don't feel anything, and they take the blood, they pull that needle out, and you see there's not even like a pimple, not a nothing. And other times they take it and it's like,
boy,
like there's a goddamn mountain growing on the inside of your elbow. Here's a lady mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, boy. How long have they been holding? I'm sitting out in front of a client's house.
A long time, 29 minutes and 56 seconds. Blame George for that. How could you been on there this long?
No, I'm
Everybody
happy.
else has been waiting that
I'm
long.
sitting in front of a client's house.
27, 23,
19.
Can I talk?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you're interrupting her. She's trying to talk after you kept her on hold for half an hour, you little stick.
You kept her on hold.
No, I did not. I take them in the order you put them on there.
Exactly.
And I still can't talk.
Go ahead.
I'm sitting out in front of a client's house. They keep looking through the window to see if I'm actually going to make it into the house. But my battery died, so I had to go stuck to the car until I finished. A couple of things.
Yes.
First of all, when you were talking about Don Imus a second ago, did you ever see the movie Anaconda?
No.
Okay, John Voight was in that movie, and Imus looks a lot like John Voight looked in that movie. It was really bad.
Now, was Imus's brother Fred in that movie, too? Because I noticed Imus is never anywhere without Fred.
I don't know. Maybe he was the snake.
Could have been.
Did you have a Herald, right?
Yeah.
Turn to the local section, the deaths. There's a priest in there that died of AIDS.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Is that the Broward section?
No, the Miami section.
Oh, I don't get that.
Okay, well, I don't get it. Well, anyway, there's a priest in there that says he died of AIDS-related brain cancer. What a surprise, priest dying of AIDS.
A priest died of AIDS?
There's no fags in the church.
Not only fags get AIDS, I mean, that's a myth, you know.
None that I know. By the way, speaking of Miami, if anybody in Pinecrest ever wanted
There's no fags in the church.
Yeah, we heard you.
Anybody in Miami ever thought about robbing a bank in Pinecrest, this would be the time, because all the cops are on Killian Drive giving out tickets for speeding.
All right. Excellent.
I talked to you actually a couple weeks ago about the Atkins bars.
Right.
and you made vomiting noises.
Well,
But,
they're not.
you know,
I mean, you're not going to tell me you
they're
like
not
them,
that
but at
great.
least there's something to pacify you. That's what I need, is something to pacify me. Because let's face it, the Atkins diet in and of itself is so boring. It is so
That's
terminal.
the theory, is that if you get so bored, you won't eat that much.
No.
Some of the Publix have them, just like some of the Publix have the Tyson beef strips. In Miami, there's only one Publix that I've ever seen that has both of them, and not a real great selection, but at least they have
So
some.
you've had the Tyson beef strips?
Yeah.
And they're good, aren't they?
Yeah, and they also have the chicken strips, too, which are sort of like if you wanted to make a chicken Caesar salad or something. And
Right.
have it in the freezer.
Or just some chicken, whatever, yeah.
Whatever. I also have them at Norman Brothers. I know that's really
In
costly.
Kendall. Yeah, they used to be a sponsor of mine 100 years ago. I'm not going all the way down there. I love Norman Brothers, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
Kendall for...
You know, Atkins is going to be there at the end of this month sometime, $10.
Well, he's having his big cruise with Bob Lincoln this Sunday. In fact, I've been invited by 20 different people, including my doctor yesterday, who's also going to be on that cruise, to be there on Sunday. And I said, no.
The last thing is you were talking about the famous.
If I'm going to cruise, it won't be on a boat. Yes.
I've been married 20-something years, and when I was dating my husband, I'm Jewish, my husband at that time was a lapsed Episcopal, now he's lapsed everything. My father decided to take the two of us out to the famous to stuff him full of Jewish food and see how he reacted.
Right.
He fell in love.
Oh, yeah.
He ate the stuffed derma, he ate the knishes, he ate everything. My father was very impressed.
That was the best restaurant that was ever in this town.
They used to cart you, had a complimentary wheelbarrow ride to the door after you were finished.
Yeah, you needed it.
Never walk. It was so good, and I remember when they sold it and tried to reopen it, and I think a couple of Cuban guys bought it.
Well, Howard, I'm going to read Howard Kleinberg's column about it today, and he goes the whole history about the different attempts to reopen it and the names of the guys and what they did to it and how they butchered it and destroyed it, etc.
And it had the rudest waiters this side of New York.
Right.
It was just terrific.
But that's because it was on the beach.
Well, yeah,
It's like
but
Wolfie's.
that was the old beach before it was gentrified.
Uh-huh.
You know, whenever the people with more money move in, they force everybody else out.
Exactly.
That's why all the synagogues are starting to close. That's why they're trying to combine on the beach.
That's why they're all moving to Boca, right.
They don't have any more people over there.
Okay, sweetheart.
So listen, thank you.
See you at the
Have a
Famous.
nice day.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
you too. Dinner at the Famous. That was great food, says Howard Kleinberg. I'm going to read that in a few minutes. Eventually, I'll get around to it. Great column. Nice going, Howie. See, old farts like me and Howard Kleinberg, we remember the days when this town was really something. When we had on the beach, you had Piccolos and Neil's there on Alton Road, and you had the Turf Pub down there at the foot of South Beach. Now what you got, I'm sure there's some of those restaurants that are good, although I'll never eat any of them. What you got is basically plastic. It's like I said, going to the games, the people are plastic. The whole atmosphere, this phony atmosphere, the phony enthusiasm, it's all plastic. On South Beach, that whole scene is plastic. In fact, it's a miracle they all don't melt in the hot Florida sun. Plastic, phony, fake. God, was that and I'm sure before I came here in 76, and it wasn't too much long after that. Maybe it was my fault. That could have been it, huh?
Uh-huh.
I don't think so. It was the early 80s. I don't want to mention who came in, but I don't want to mention those Marielitos and that Mariel boat lift. Oh, you're a bad guy. You're a communist. You're whatever. Yeah, right. Because I didn't want to see the town turned into a toilet. That made me into a bad guy. And a lot of other people, of course, who can't talk about it now because they moved the hell out of here. Long gone. Here's a lady in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say I was watching the game Saturday night, and I happen to agree with you. I was wondering why every time Toronto scored, no one cheered. No one stood up.
Just me and some people down there in the platinum and the expensive seats. But
I couldn't see you because, the seats that Jeff got you, you were probably really high.
I was hidden like way off. So I was so far up the camera couldn't get that angle, I'm sure.
I was
nosebleed seats. Thanks a lot, Rimmer. Nosebleed. Oh, they're 5 rows below. Yeah, 5 rows below the ceiling is what they were. Yeah.
Exactly. And then last night I was watching the game and, against Ottawa, and they were playing all the same clips there. You could hear them in the background, the one where, it's not over. And
right, and they were playing the Howard Beale. He says, I want you to get up right now and go to the window. And then every arena, they cut it off. They won't let them say I'm as mad as hell because there's little kids in there, and God forbid they should say hell. So they cut it off, and they go on and say, let's go, Senator,
right. And they play the same song. I mean, they play the same song over and over again.
See, like I said yesterday, Gary Bettman, you and the people who are orchestrating this thing, they're destroying the league. Every sport, they're doing the same damn thing. You can go, and it's getting to the point now where you can go to an arena in Miami, in Toronto, in Los Angeles, anywhere in America, North America, and the ambiance is all the same plastic crap. Same music, same film clips on a screen, same cornball crap.
Yeah, I went to the old Maple Leaf Garden for the first time last year.
What a difference.
Yeah, and, I go to the Air Canada Center. I mean, I go to the National Car Rental Center. It's the same thing. The United Center, all of them.
You're right.
They're exactly the same. You're right. They're
Plastic
cookie cutters.
crap. Just like I said about the beach. Plastic.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go there, and I live in Miami. Oh, I go to Fort Lauderdale or Orlando or wherever and get out here, where people speak English.
Yeah, that's why I always go to the Sawgrass. They speak a lot of English there.
All right, Neil. Take care.
Have a great day.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I could throw a brick from my house to the Sawgrass. In fact, I think I'm going to start doing it. Huh? That's what I should have done when I started building it. Oh, there goes the neighborhood. Number 2 tourist attraction in Florida. And you think I exaggerate when I tell you what a boring-ass state this is? Number 2 tourist attraction in the state. It's a shopping mall. Without even, it doesn't even have a magnet store, Doesn't have a Burdines. Does it have a Burdines?
No.
Does it have like a, nothing?
Macy's?
No.
No.
Penny's, it's got like a Penny's outlet store. Where all the people who can't afford to shop in the real Penny's go. I don't want to mention the suntan. Huh? No, did you ever go to that Penny's outlet mall?
No.
Schwarzer's. What? It's like basketball. NBA basketball is for black people, and the same thing with that J.C. Penney's outlet store. Black people shop in there. And once in a while, me. Which I don't mind shopping in there,
Maybe I should start going.
Yeah, you should go in there. You got a little, in you. Okay, where are we going? Here's a mobile implantation. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Great.
And I wanted to tell you a little story. I was over in Publix the other day, and I was at the pharmacy, and on the counter at the counter on the pharmacy was something called a diabetic bar. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
A diabetic bar?
Yeah. It's like
what, it has 600 carbs in it?
It's supposed to be a bar that diabetics can eat.
Right.
And a friend of mine's diabetic, so I decided to pick it up, turn it over to the other side, and look at the carbohydrates. There was about 18 grams of sugar in it.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be for diabetics.
How do you like that?
And
I'm telling you, they're killing people every day with this crap, with this garbage.
And I asked the pharmacist, I said, how can you go ahead and put something like this out there? She's like, oh, I don't know. I looked at the same thing. I don't even know. They didn't even know.
Because they're into selling crap. That's what it's all about. America loves to buy
crap. I guess that's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks a lot, Neil. I appreciate it.
And have a great life.
Bye.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Where am I going to get those goddamn... I would have thought Bob Lincoln would have already been in here by now. I've lost it with a big bag full of that crap. And it is crap, but it, at least it's something. I'm sorry, I'm all for the Atkins diet and, steaks and lobster and shrimp and omelets. But how much steak and lobster and shrimp? You want something else. God, and I don't want cheesecake. If I ever hear anybody say the word cheesecake, I'm going to have another accident in my pants, okay? I don't want any more goddamn cheesecake. Christ. You know what cheesecake is like? Cheesecake is like a cake made out of halava. It's like dry. It's like tasteless. It's crap is what it is. If you're going to have cake, have a nice, big, moist Betty Crocker double fudge thick cake. There you go, if you're going to have cake, which I can't have that, but that's a cake. If you're going to have a pie, go to Denny's and get one of those Mother Hubbards. Isn't that what they have? Mother, your mama pies? Oh, boy. I'll tell you, Denny's is not exactly my favorite place, but boy, those Mother Hummer pies. The best. They had like that chocolate cream pie and Boston cream pie. See, why am I doing this now? What is wrong with me? Huh? I'm losing my mind now with this crap.
Get the honey, Junior.
QAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Lenny's asked America what they wanted in an all-you-can-eat breakfast.
That's a lot of food.
I want a lot of choices.
Bacon, pancakes, and eggs any way I want them.
Oh, and sausages, those little sausages that look like dog turds.
Yeah, the ones that always come stuck together. Why is that?
And I don't want it warmed under a heat lamp at some fast food place. I want it warmed under a heat lamp at Lenny's.
Tell you how I want it. I want bacon really fatty and wings that when you pick it up, it sort of droops off your finger. And eggs with the yolk broken so they're hot as a rock.
And I want it served by a fat, sullen waitress with a mustache so I have an excuse to stiff her. Hey, bring it to me, bitch, now!
And I don't want to stand in line. I want to wait in line to get seated for a really long time.
They do that at Denny's. Lenny's.
America, there's a new all-you-can-eat Grand Slam breakfast menu at Lenny's. It's everything you already expect from Lenny's, just a lot more of it. at room temperature.
Boy, I sure do love those Mother Humper pies, though. 12:02 at 560 WQM. Howard Kleinberg writes, dinner at the Famous, that was great food, which I can only say. After the gefilte fish and after the chopped liver and after the chicken soup with 3 matzo balls and egg noodles, I pulled back from the Passover Seder table and thought, just as I do every year, I'm stuffed. I'd like to opt for the skeleton dinner. The skeleton dinner, appetizer, soup, dessert, but no main course, was in my memory born at what was once one of Miami Beach's most famous restaurants and appropriately called the Famous. A 1977 Miami Herald restaurant reviewer referred to the Famous' skeleton dinner as an escape hatch, with everything else being shoved onto the table. Who needed a main course? The restaurant at 671 Washington Avenue was founded in 1945 by Morris Lerner. The site has a history. In 1934, it was the Tiptoe Bar and Grill. In 1937, it was Lehman's Restaurant. And beginning in 1938, it was a restaurant operated by Oscar and Esther Bernstein. The Famous, under several owners, had a lifespan of 36 years. It died in 1981, a victim of the evolving demographics of South Beach. Plus a change in people's eating habits, heavy food was on the way out, salads and fluff were in control. Those of us still around who patronized the Famous will recall how immediately upon being seated, the coleslaw, pickles, sauerkraut, and several kinds of bread were put on the table, followed by a bottle of seltzer, and upon request a chocolate syrup for a make-your-own drink of New York origin. While nibbling and drinking, you then face the crisis. Do you order a full meal or just the skeleton dinner? Knowing the appetizers on the skeleton dinner included items such as stuffed durma, knishes, and all those other exotic but filling Eastern European Jewish foods, and also knowing that the soup was to follow chicken soup with matzo balls or noodles according to the menu, though you usually got chicken soup with matzo balls and noodles, you thought twice about a main course. How much can you eat? After the soup, who wants to look at a boiled beef flanken or stuffed cabbage? Oh, God, did they have good stuffed cabbage. Brisket or beef or pastrami-style smoked duck. So you opted for the skeleton dinner. Sometimes, if you already had ordered the main course but were real nice, a waiter or waitress would let you off the hook when you pleaded you could eat no more. The order was rewritten as a skeleton dinner, and as a reward, you provided a little extra in the tip. Lerner sold the restaurant in 1964 to Harry Zuckerman, who later sold it to his son Ira and son-in-law Larry Winkler. Winkler eventually bought out Ira Zuckerman's share. But things were changing for the Famous. When I hosted my parents' 50th wedding anniversary dinner at the Famous in 1980, the number of patrons was already declining. Neither the Mariel influx nor the Art Deco South Beach movement lent itself to chopped liver, matzo balls, and pickled tomatoes. In April 1981, Winkler closed the restaurant, claiming that he would reopen in November. Before that, however, he leased the business to Juan Favoli and Eric Velasco, Cuban-Americans who owned the Corsair and Ocean Haven hotels. The new owners reopened in December, kept some of the old ethnic menu, but served lobster bisque instead of chicken soup, Perrier instead of seltzer. They couldn't make a go of it and shut down. I remember that. I went there when they reopened it. I went, oh my God. Yeah. In August 1984, the Famous reopened as a gay nightclub and restaurant, and again the menu was modified, this time to include Spanish and Italian foods in addition to American-style food. This, too, had a short life. While the strains of Yiddish may be gone, the building hosts a vibrant establishment today. In 1985, it opened as the Strand, still one of South Beach's popular late-night spots. Nevertheless, the ghost of Hungarian goulash, oh, the best! The memories of skeleton dinners and the groans of overeaters permeate the air. As the Herald headline of 1981 reminds us, the Famous is gone, but the heartburn lingers on. Nice going, Howard. Oh, God, was that a place, huh? And now they got all that plastic crap down there, all those phony drug addicts, posers, silly simpering queens, people like Mickey Rourke, desperate for attention. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Listen, two names that I don't know if you mentioned, Bill Chadwick, the Big Whistle, and Sal Messina.
Sal Messina, I mentioned. That's
Chadwick was a former referee that they put in the booth with Jim Gordon, as a matter of fact.
He's in here. He's in the book. I'm looking in the index. Let's see.
Also, listen, never mind Atkins. I can't understand why you don't have a stroke listening to some of these calls. Do you remember Jerry Eisenberg? Jerry Eisenberg was never on the radio, sir. He was a newspaper guy.
Here's Bill Chadwick's picture, by the way. It says, follow the Rangers and the Knicks on WHN. Hear Marv Albert every morning during the Jack Sterling show.
That's right.
And here's a picture of Bill Chadwick.
Also, Vince Scully is a little pompous, but he is magnificent doing radio. You haven't lived until you've been in the car listening to him on the radio. He's fantastic.
Yeah, well,
He's good. You got to
He's okay. He's sure better than most of the crap you get around. In fact, most of the broadcasts today on these, since everything's on Fox now, you can't tell one announcer from the other. They all sound the same.
That's true.
And the guy that does the Indians, this Jack Saunders, I think his name is, this man, you while you're listening to him, you want to poke him in the ribs to see if you can wake him up. He is the most comatose man I've ever heard in my life.
You want to hear something funny? They play with the audio Fox. They raise up the crowd sound in the stadium so that people kind of get more excited about it. It covers up any of the imperfections that the announcers may have.
Which ought to be, the crowd must be wild then.
I'm telling you. Two other things.
Yes, sir.
New York Post is reporting that Wayne Gretzky absolutely will retire at the end of the season. They say the sources are impeachable.
Oh! Yeah, John Davidson's been spinning the rumor for a week. Thank God, enough with him already. Have a nice life, Wayne. We had enough of you already, okay? Needle nose and nice season too, by the way.
No question. And also, you are the king of the Panthers. There is no questions. Please tell all our loyal listeners that the injuries are not the reason why this team did not make the playoffs. I listened to Eddie Kaplan last night. I wanted to puke with his rose-colored glasses. Well, the injuries, when Pavel got hurt.
Wait a minute. They're the reason that the team didn't make the playoffs?
That's exactly what he said last night. You could see that this team has heart and character. They won last night. That's the beauty
because they won a game after an 8-game winless streak. They had 7 losses and a tie, including losses to the Islanders and 2 to the Washington Capitals.
And he said because of the rash of injuries, and with Bure getting hurt and then the rash of injuries, that's what kept this team out of the playoffs. I wanted to puke. This team is coma-inducing. They're horrible.
I'm going to tell you, if you took Ray Whitney and Mark Parrish away from this team, and you took away the fact that we've had pretty better than expected goaltending from Sean Burke and Kirk McLean all year, better than we had a right to expect, you take away those 2 factors, this team would have been right there with the Lightning.
Oh, there's no question. Do you think Parrish is going to be a 25-goal scorer every year?
He's a good player.
He knows how to find it.
And you know something? It's interesting. Remember, this was the organization that kept saying when they got rid of Stu Barnes and Straka, they didn't like little guys. Take a look at who the 3 best people, forgetting about Bure because he only played a few games, the 3 most prolific scorers on his team were Whitney, Mark Parrish, and if he wouldn't have been injured, Dino Ciccarelli.
Little guys.
3 little guys. There you go, Brian. Stick that where the moon don't shine.
Hey, you remember when Terry Murray said that my team choked in the playoffs and Lindros went crazy in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah.
Well, him saying, and he said this, that the nails in the coffin were eliminated already. Even though they weren't eliminated, I think it's going to come back to bite him in the ass because a lot of the players really were not very happy with that statement.
But you know what the spokesman said there with Rimmer last night on the pregame show? The spokesman says, or maybe it was between periods, the spokesman says, well, the highlights for me, the good thing this year has been the coaching and the consistency.
Please.
Yeah, they've been consistent all right. Consistently crap.
Good luck doing the games next year. It'd be great to hear you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Okay. I'm going to be doing the Panther games next year. Anybody believe that? Believe it?
No.
567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one. I mean, I can't be no Christina Moore, I can't say dumps down often enough. That was the only thing he ever said. Dumps down. That's why I did in Toronto Sunday. Dump down, straight down my pants.
Sports Back Radio, WQAL.
Please remain on the line. A customer care representative will be with you momentarily. We apologize for the delay.
On-hold messages. They're always annoying and never truthful. When they say momentarily, how many tens of minutes are they talking about? Well, if you order star FU from Big Bell, you can know. Simply dial star FU at the end of the hold message and then learn the truth.
And we apologize for the delay.
Your delay will be approximately 79 minutes. We see the line ringing, but are too busy with our takeout pizza to answer it. And you are not a valued customer.
Star FU from Big Bell. A service you wish really did exist. Order today.
Yeah, and FU too. 12:15. Yeah, don't you love that? That's a new deal. It's not only these, every time I call one of these places where they have the computerized stuff, I feel like I'm on the Phil Henry show again, on a time warp. Put the phone on the floor, stick your foot in your rectum, and punch the button, press 1. But now the new deal is, like when you call one of these travel service things where you make reservations, your expected wait time is 82 minutes. Yeah, well, what is that? Who the hell in their right mind is going to hold on for like 17 minutes and 25 minutes? What does that mean? In addition to which, how do they know what your anticipated wait time is? You know what I'm saying?
They got a thing like we got here.
What do you mean by that?
Like they just look at the longest person waiting, and that's the number.
Well, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, maybe they had somebody that took 15 minutes to do their reservation. The next 5 people might take 2 minutes or might take an hour.
It's a guesstimate.
Thanks. And FU. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Yeah, I would really recommend, I guess only if you're from New York. Or maybe if you're a sports fan, but we don't have any of those down here. If you're from New York, you really enjoy David Halberstam's book, Sports on New York Radio, a play-by-play history. which I just got this copy of today. Here's Al Helfer. Remember Al Helfer?
No.
Broadcast 5 of World Series beginning 1951 on Mutual's Game of the Day broadcasts. Walt Frazier. Oh, jeez. Good player, but Jerry Coleman. Oh, my God. That was the beginning of the end when they brought in Jerry Coleman and the Scooter and Joe Doggiola, all those illiterates, the ex-jocks. That was the beginning of the end. But this is a really good book. A lot of good crap in it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
Oh, just a few capsule comments. I used to speak with you when you had a guy named Nick call you up every day. That's how long I've been listening to you.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Capsule comment, did they say anything about Bill Stern? He had a wooden leg.
No, he's here. Of course he's in here. I'm sure. I don't even have to look.
He did the first telecast on a Giants versus the Cardinal game.
There's tons of stuff on Bill Stern. There's a whole chapter in this book on Bill Stern, page 54 to or whatever, yeah.
Great.
He was did those fights. He did the Gillette, whatever they call that?
Well, I know he did the college games on radio, and then he did the first Giants versus Cardinal game.
Bill Stern was born Bill Sterngold in Rochester, New York in 1907. There's a whole thing on him here.
Is that, well, he had a great voice, and he had a wooden leg, didn't he?
Yes.
And that's okay. That's it. That's
I think he used the same wooden leg that Bill Cullen used later on.
Well, anyway, I have to get off because that last Greps, I think, just melted the wax in my ears.
Okay.
Oh, you did it again.
Okay, see,
Thanks a lot.
Okay, one call left on the board. See, I read Howard Kleinberg's thing about the famous, and they're saying, what's that? What was that? Too bad, it was great. All us old farts that have been around here long enough to appreciate when it was really great. We know what it was all about. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. I can play that play-by-play on a radio thing over and over again while we figure out what we want to eat today. See, I would love to have meatballs, but I can't eat the meatballs with the breadcrumbs. Did you call over there and find out if they put breadcrumbs in their meatballs over across the street?
No.
Well, why don't we find out while I answer the phone? WQAM.
George.
Yes, sir.
Does Neil want the Atkins bars or not?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you keep disconnecting me, and I'm trying to tell you exactly where you can get them, right near you.
Yeah.
All right.
George keeps disconnecting you?
Well, somebody told. I'm sorry.
The mobile phone is bad.
Oh, you have a bad. You're in a
yeah,
bad.
well, because I'm in a
You're in a bad cell. Okay, just forget about that. Let's deal with this.
Neil.
Yeah.
Publix, you can get the Atkins bars plus sweet and low, no sugar cake mixes if you're so inclined to bake.
Yeah.
But if your Publix doesn't have the bars,
I scoured my Publix for those bars yesterday. I was up and down every aisle. I was in the back. I was out in the front. I was looking in the mailbox. Couldn't find them.
Look near the health food section.
I looked in the health food section. I looked in the diet food section. I looked in the fat food section. I looked in the candy section. I looked everywhere.
I just put them in a Publix last week. I worked for the distributor.
Yeah.
All right, ask your manager.
But which Publix? Oh, I'm not going to go through all of that.
Just tell your manager to get them from Fine Distributing, and he can get you the Advantage bars that you want.
Right.
Okay, there's the chocolate mac, the peanut, and the almond.
Oh, the peanut one. Oh, not that one. I want the chocolate mac.
Yeah, well, that's what they got.
Right.
I've got them at the Publix right now at Miramar Parkway in Palm.
Well, how about the Publix out there by me, by the Sawgrass? That's
very possible. I don't know.
What's possible? They're not out there. It's not there, man. And we got a lot of nothing but fat people out by me. We need them desperately.
Well, mention it to the manager. He can get them from Fine.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
Have a great day.
Okay. Well, he's giving himself a little free plug. What's wrong with that? Well, we already know that. Uh-oh. Oh, I had a good sneeze coming up there and I had to repress it. WQAM.
Easier hate you.
Okay. WQAM, last call of the day. This is it.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Did you get that soda recipe that I faxed you?
Yes.
You got to do that, man.
Okay.
It'll keep you in there.
Okay,
It'll
thanks.
Keep you in the
I
game.
got it. I read it. I talked about it on the air. I got it. Okay, don't be chronic. Okay, don't be a Cronus. Is that a corn ice? Don't be a cornhole. What?
So, they don't make the meatballs there. They purchase them, and yes, they do have.
See, how many months have I been eating that? Months and months and months. I've been eating stuff with breadcrumbs in it. God damn it! And I'm wondering how come I go home after eating what I think is a perfect Atkins lunch, and my blood sugar is like 180 when it ought to be like 80 or 90 or something. All the hidden stuff that they put in the foods that you eat that you never had, you know what I'm saying?
All of these things
that are in there that have no reason to be in there. I don't care if my balls are soft and mushy or if they're firm. Okay, although I do like my matzo balls firm. So like when you take your spoon, you chop off a piece, it hangs to the back of the spoon. That's the way matzo balls ought to be. Hard. 567. Is this going to be the end now? We've been smoking along here. I read the thing from about the famous there, and it was a killer. Thanks, Howard. That was a great column. I loved it. Brought back great memories to all us old farts. And the rest of these people, they're all gone. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Every another day of my life. It's not bad enough. I had a psychotic episode for an hour and a half yesterday with the doctor. In fact, I used that word when I walked in there yesterday. I said, yeah, you're a little psychotic today. Little did I know. A little psychotic was an understatement. A wild man. I mean, wound up like an alarm clock. Here's a mobile in Weston. Hello. Now, what's going on here now? That's the second time in the last few minutes. Are we having another ding-a-ling on the phone here today? Is that it? Are they potching around with the phone? Because we've been doing just fine up till about 5 minutes ago, and now I get two of those sounds on there like the phone company is screwing around with our phone lines again. Wouldn't surprise me. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, so I think
I got some information for you on that dietetic bar. What it's for is when you don't monitor your sugar, it goes low, goes down, and you need a pickup. So it's like...
Sir, that's the most ridiculous thing in my life, a pickup. That's what makes you hypoglycemic. You don't want a pickup. You can go get a candy bar if you want a pickup. That's not what you want.
No. A lot of times if you don't monitor your blood right, your blood sugar goes down, and you start getting,
Did you see Godfather 3? So you have a little glass of orange juice, about a third of a glass of orange juice.
Exactly right.
You have a little piece of hard candy with sugar in it. You don't go get a bar that's got 35 or 50 or 60 grams of carbohydrates in it, so your blood sugar goes up to 200, because those big swings up and down is what's going to kill you.
It's giving them a variety, though. That's what it does.
Sir, let me say it again. It's the worst thing in the world. You can keep pumping it all you want, sir. Let me say it again. Those bars should not be consumed by people who are diabetic or hypoglycemic or both of the above. Got it? Does he got it?
No.
No, he don't got it. Because he doesn't want to listen to what I'm saying. 567-0560. I'll keep plugging away here now. Totally paranoid now since hearing those two awful sounds there from the phone company. Everything's been working fine for a couple of weeks now. Why can't they just leave the phones alone? Why can't we just go like a month would be nice with a phone system that works here? Coral Springs, hello.
Because Ma Bell wants to show you who's boss, that's why.
Is that it?
Listen, when you went to see Dr. Mark, did you find out what Norvas? Remember somebody called last week about the Norvas?
About what?
Norvas.
Never heard of it.
And he said...
Norcross?
He told you Norvasc.
No. Only got as far as the NO part.
Okay. Listen, I'm the guy that calls. I was 600 pounds now.
Okay, great. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Well, one call left on the board. Are they working? Is this phone working? Is this...
Hello?
You know something? Here we are again, boys and girls. Welcome to Bell South at its best, okay? The one line, I got the howling sound. The next guy, there's a guy on there, and it doesn't ring, okay? We got a little phone problem here today, boys and girls. You know, I don't know how many times over the 23 years I've been in this market, I've been on the air screaming and yelling and working with a phone system that doesn't work. What am I wasting all this energy for? I'm sitting here browbeating the audience, getting them all psychotic. And we got a phone system that's all effed up here. What's going on in this building? Is somebody out there in the other thing? Nope. Then it's Bell South again. Well, let's just say F you to Bell South, okay? Hello? What was that? That must be Bell South. Hello?
Yeah, Neil.
Hold on. Okay. Line 8. We have a phone system that doesn't work. That's all totally, that just about 10 minutes ago, just totally blew up. Just went nuts. The miracles, the wonders of Bell South. You know something? I'm going to say it again. You people at Bell South, you should croak. You should die a wicked, nasty, rotten, filthy, grotesque death. That even the maggots wouldn't touch your rotting bodies, okay? Day after day, week after week, year after year, I sit here wondering, am I going to get through 4 hours today with a phone that might work? Forget about whether they'll try to call or not. That's another story. Probably just leave that on here, okay? Let's just leave that on like a little background music. Sounds good. You crazy bastard, you.
Neil? God?
Oh, Doctor! It's time to play You Make the Call!
You're getting a lap dance from a large-chested stripper of casual moral fiber and marginal intellect to invite you up to her hotel room after her shift. But you're a married man. What do you do? Should you? Take your wedding ring, hide it in your pocket, and do her 5 ways to Sunday. Only go to third, which in some religions is technically not cheating. Or graciously decline. Then go home and fantasize about her while banging your wife. But tell all your friends you nailed her anyway.
You make the call!
The answer when we return. Welcome back to You Make the Call. You're getting a lap dance from a large-chested stripper of casual moral fiber and marginal intellect to invite you up to her hotel room after her shift. But you're a married man. What do you do? If you pick C, graciously decline her invitation, then go home and fantasize about her while banging your wife and tell all your friends you nailed her anyway, you win! You make the right choice! Join us next time for another gripping edition of You Make the Call!
12:32 at 560 WQAM. Well, it started out for over a couple of hours as being an almost livable Tuesday, and now it's turned into living hell. WQAM, hello.
Yes, I'd like to speak to Neil Rogers, please.
Speaking, sir.
Neil.
How do you like that?
Hold
on. Try it again. Hello.
Neil?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I hear you, but the phone's all
I
screwed
listen
up.
to you all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm a year older than you.
Yeah.
And a while back, you had a problem with the heel on your foot.
With the what?
With your heel.
Yeah.
You went through all that stuff.
A bone spur, yeah, a heel spur, yes.
How did you get that corrected?
How did I get it corrected? It went away.
Oh, it just went away by itself?
It took 9 months, that's right, and this phone is screwed up, and have a great day, okay? It's the doctor's show, okay? I mean, it doesn't make any difference that the phone is working or not because there's nobody calling now anyway. We got a couple people on there, and this guy wants medical advice. 567-0560. I mean, you talk about going from heaven to hell in like 10 seconds, baby. This town will do it to you. Immediately, if not sooner. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Do we have anybody alive out there today?
No.
Anybody breathing?
No.
Anybody still out there that can communicate?
No.
Anybody that can speak?
No.
WQAM.
Yeah, mobile. Speak to Neil.
Speaking.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Okay.
Can you explain to me
That
why
was a lot better 20 minutes ago. This sounds like one of our chronics.
No, I'm not a chronic.
Okay.
I never called before.
Okay,
I was
good.
listening to Tom
That's why
Likas.
Yeah.
Why does he have a syndicated radio show and you don't?
I haven't got any idea because he wears a better jacket. I don't know.
And I remember when he was down here, he was pathetic.
And he's still pathetic. He's a joke. He's an industry joke.
And listening to him was torture.
Yeah.
Absolutely torturous. But anyway, I just wanted to call to find out why you're not
because unfortunately I've never been surrounded by people who have any interest in syndicating this program. I've heard a lot of talk, a lot of ba and nothing ever happens, okay?
Well, I think you should do it. I think you're wonderful.
Okay, thank you so much. God bless you. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Somebody just pulled the plug on the phone and on the audience. How do you like that? I bet you Castro done it. I bet you it's an inside goddamn job. I'm going to tell you again, when I can get paranoid, I can get all kinds of psychotic behavior like my doctor was yesterday, but when I hear those howling sounds, I know for sure that somebody there at Bell South again is playing fast and loose with my life. You've heard of the Wichita lineman? Well, we got the South Florida lineman who's potchking around out there whenever the hell they feel like it. They're yanking it, they're pulling it, they're pushing it, they're squeezing it. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Neil, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
I can see that. Neil, I wanted to really talk to you about a couple of weeks ago. What's the moron that called you that said, Neil, I'm going to get married, I'm going to Italy, where should I go? And you said, go every place but Naples.
Yes.
Now, the reason I wanted to talk to you is because I am from there. And it's not really as terrible as you think
yes,
it is.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
No.
Why can you say that?
But 10 million tourists can't all be wrong. I mean, everybody I've ever spoken to said Naples is nothing but a bunch of schleppers. There's tremendous poverty there. There's tremendous crime. As many gypsies as there are in Rome, there's 50,000 more in Naples.
I think that the gypsies, no matter where you go, including in Amsterdam. I used to live in Rotterdam for 3.5 years, and I know Amsterdam also pretty good.
I never saw a gypsy in Amsterdam, ever.
So you got to be looking a little bit more, be more specific next time you go there. But I tell you,
next time I'll make sure I look for some.
Absolutely, but I would suggest that you go there before you even say anything like that, because it's not really as terrible as people think it is, and people tell you it is. It's quite a few good places.
Then why are they all saying that?
I have no idea. Because the Marlins, they probably had a bad experience or something. But
I've read all the travel books. I've read Fromer, and everybody that writes a travel book. I've got a million of them at home. Which I keep forgetting to bring those in for our sales guy, but he never showed up for them anyway. But nevertheless, they all say the same thing. They say that Naples sucks.
I don't think that's the case. Let me put it this way. You seem to love Toronto all the time, and the last time I was there, actually, I was rolling my hotel.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean Toronto's a terrible city. I happen to like the city. So I think I suggest you better go and take a look for yourself.
But Toronto is a safe city, and it's not a city that's low. I mean, there's beggars out on the street, but it's a safe city, and there's not rampant poverty all over the place. Everybody tells me Naples is basically a tremendously poor, and then not only that, but in fact they have the big movement in Italy, as you know, where they wanted the central and northern parts of the country want to separate from southern Italy because it's so poverty stricken.
I would say it's different. I wouldn't say it's such a poverty stricken city.
Well, then why do they want to separate?
In
other words, the whole world is just making these things up.
No, I'm not going to say the whole world.
It's an anti-Napoli conspiracy. Maybe they had a bad pizza Napoli.
I guess, but you better go there next time you
I will not go there. I will never go there. I'm going to Milano. I'm going to Rome. I'm going to Firenze. I don't even want to go to Venezia. I hear that blows too. I don't want to smell those crappy canals.
I
want to smell crappy canals. I go to Amsterdam and smell over there. They got better stuff to smell.
I know, or Rotterdam for that instance too. Okay, but I thought that I just put my 2 cents in there because it's really not that terrible, and people that say that,
Yeah, the hell with the buff.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Ciao.
Arrivederci. Ciao. Okay, so what do you say? Oh, look at that. Here's a mobile in Naples. You can correct the last caller. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
Well, first of all, if you ask any Guinea which is the best town in Italy, it's always the town they're from.
Right.
But most will agree that any Napolitan, people from Naples, it's basically the Newark of Italy.
Right, exactly.
It's an armpit. I've been there myself. I've been to Bologna. Bologna is a much better town than Naples, Italy. And as far as the Atkins is concerned, I tried it for 2 weeks, lost 15 pounds, but I realized that I'm addicted to bread and juices. So I had to kick it, and I gained another 30 pounds. So with that, I'm going to go to Arby's and have a big giant deluxe.
Okay, well, bring us some flowers. Okay, there you go. Bring this guy some flowers for his funeral, okay? Get some pansies for this guy and some daffodils. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Anybody in this audience ever been to Naples, Italy?
No.
Want to refute what this other guy said, this Napolitano? Maybe that was George Napolitano Jr. calling from Pompano Park. Oh, God, I could say so much, but I won't. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line, 21 till 1. Hank Goldberg, it's not even 1 o'clock yet? Where are we going to get some lunch from today, for Christ's sakes, George? What's that? Oh, those are the Atkins bars? All right, let's hear it. Boy, am I psychic or what? Carlos just brought a thing in there. I thought it was just a piece of mail. Big envelope. And in the envelope, I bet you there's a whole bunch of Advantage bars. Man, are they good. Are they good?
No.
But there's something. That's good. Okay, now I feel like redeemed as a human being. Okay, so are you eating yours yet or what? Have you already tasted it? Huh? What about it? Now, what kind is it? Is it the chocolate macadamia nut?
Almond brownie.
Almond brownie, hound? I'm eating these. 2.6 carbs. How many carbs has that one got? Which, by the way, they've left out. There's a little note on the side down there at the bottom. It says, which if you unfold it, glycerin and polydextrose have been omitted from the total carbohydrate count as they do not react like regular carbohydrates and produce a negligible amount of glucose in the body. 2.6 grams for the whole bar.
I think we're eating the same kind, aren't we?
What do you mean? No, I'm not eating a brownie, hound. I'm not no brown. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is. You know what this is? No, it's. See, you try to convince yourself that this is good. Okay. You look at it, and it looks like it's sweating. Do you know what I mean by that? It looks moist on the outside. Whoever saw a candy bar that's moist on the outside, like it's sweating. But then you bite into it, and Huh? Now, do I have another one? Did you eat the only one of those brownie hounds in here? Because they're a chocolate peanut butter. I don't want that, because I've had those. I don't like peanut butter that much to begin with.
There were two of them. You've got the other one. I'm looking at it right now.
For what, the brownie hound? Oh, here it is. Almond brownie. Well, yours must be better than the one that I'm eating. No. But it's only 2.6 grams. And I'm going to tell you something. Eating this is going to make me so nauseous that I won't eat anything else the rest of the day. That's how they work. There you go.
Oh!
Yeah. And look at that. Look what it leaves on your fingers.
And the aftertaste ain't bad either.
Oh, God. Look what that leaves on your fingers, for crying out loud.
Well, that makes us feel like duty.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Man. WQAM.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to Neil.
Sure, hold on. Where are you calling from?
Miami.
Okay. Okay, let's take a call from Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
I just got back from Vegas, and I need to plug Rosewood Grill a bit.
Okay.
Got
Did
in
you get
here
a freebie
and,
or something?
What's that?
I said, how was it?
It was great, except I ordered the filet mignon, a nice big hearty cut. Came back a little rare, so I just told the waiter to take it back. And he brought it back still a little rare, but excellent filet.
Yeah.
Gives us the bill and says that he had talked to the manager. He apologized up and down for the mistake and said it should never have happened and gave it to me free.
How do you like that?
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good, because that's a very, as you know, expensive joint.
Yes. I was very happy, very classy place. Also, stopped by the Bellagio. Beautiful, beautiful hotel. A bit stuffy for me, though.
Yeah.
Not allowing kids in at all.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. The Bellagio is not for me. I mean, if you're into all that stuffy art and stuff, and even as much as I love Italy, I don't see any resemblance between anything there. Maybe Naples, maybe Schlepperville, but I don't see anything I recognize in that place. I still like the MGM Grand. I like seeing all the other places, but as far as staying, I love the MGM. You just can't go wrong there.
The Venetian looks like it's going to be a pretty nice place.
Now, that should be opening any day now, right?
It looks like it's about finished. Maybe another couple months or so.
No, I think this month.
Is it this month?
I think so.
And Paris looks like it's pretty.
Paris this fall, I believe October, November, something like that.
Great place. All right, Neil.
I hope the Paris goes over big, real big, sir, because it's owned by Hilton, and I got to get that stock up. Have a great day, pal.
Okay, you too.
See you.
Bye.
Yeah, when the Dow, see this Dow thing, I mean, like now, the Dow's up 4 points and the Nasdaq's down 17. It looked like it was going to be a really big day, and like yesterday, it looked like a disaster day because of that compact stuff, and then it all went up. Doesn't mean a goddamn thing. What it means is if you have some of those, internet stocks that are still going crazy, Yahoo and eBay, and you have those, or if you got General Electric, or you got IBM, or whatever those 10 or 12 stocks, you're in great shape. AOL. Other than that, you're in the crapper. Nice hit though on Caterpillar yesterday. One of the brokerage companies, I think I must have paid them off. They upgraded. They said, "Oh yeah, that might be okay. They might sell another tractor before the year 10,000." And it went up to like almost 52, 51 3/8, something like that, almost 51.5. Caterpillar. There you go.
Oh!
Maybe you're off the hook, Derek. So Derek, take the letters from Derek and you rearrange them. You know what that spells? Drek, which is what these taste like. No, these aren't bad. Huh?
They're bad. But
They leave a bad aftertaste in your mouth. Kind of like what Sud said before.
Well, that makes us feel like duty.
Yeah, like that. Man. Here's a call from Green Bay.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Neil.
How you doing, sir?
Boy, have I missed you, buddy.
I'll bet.
See, I haven't listened to you since 90. I've been up here. I actually just found your station on Real Player on the computer this morning.
Right. Yeah, if we weren't so goddamn cheap, we could fill up the whole show every day talking to people all over the rest of the world listening, but we're too cheap to put an 800 line in here because Greg Reed is a wannabe. He is. He's a cheap prick.
I had a hell of a time finding out what station you moved to.
Right.
But, yeah, I've been searching for days, actually, now that I downloaded this Real Player thing.
And how does it come in? How does it sound?
It sounds excellent. Real good.
Beautiful.
Yep, very good. But I just wanted to call and let you know you got somebody up here listening.
Great. Well, God bless you, sir. We had a call from Toronto today and now Green Bay and Naples. What more could you want?
Yeah.
Have a great day.
You too.
And say hi to Brett Favre.
I'll do that.
And tell me to get a haircut. Okay. Old Yahoo, that Brett Favre, real country boy with that toothpick in his mouth. That's our poll question today. Let's name all of it like Dusty Baker. There's a guy who always has a big toothpick in his mouth. Never trust a guy that's got a toothpick in his mouth all the time. Never lead him around, like a full dinner table. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. So what's our take on the Advantage, Boris, huh? on a scale of -8. Huh? I mean, I'm eating it. I remember the first time I tried one, and I took a bite full, and I spit it out and threw it in the wastebasket. I spat it in the basket. In fact, now that I think about it, although I am starving, I've eaten nothing all day. But now that I really think about this one, yeah. Well, maybe I'll try the other one. They're only 2.6 grams. Oh, look at my fingers again. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I am an investor from out of the country, and I try to listen to your program. Why can't you come up with something
You're a what?
I need
what's this
for you
phony
to come
call?
up with something.
What's this stuff you're making up with that beeping in the background?
Your program is disgusting.
Yeah, then what are you listening to it for?
Because somebody.
Why don't you turn on CNBC and watch something intellectual, you banana boat jackass? We got enough banana boat people here already, okay? Go back where you came from, you foreign jackass. We got too many foreigners already, although I do like foreigners' music, but nevertheless. Why don't you do this and why don't you do that? Another phony baloney call, okay? Phony is a $97 bill. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to know some of the people that mentored you in the business, if you ever stay in contact with them, like Bill Smith and Irv Schindler and people like that.
Bill Smith? Bill Smith?
Are you answering it or just repeating his name?
I'm asking you if you're serious.
I'm serious.
I never met Bill Smith in my life. Who was the most
When
boring.
you worked at WKAT, you didn't meet him?
No, I did not. He wasn't there when I worked at KT. He had left, thank God. He was the most terminal, boring person, the most self-indulgent jackass I ever heard on the air in my life.
Who did you like that worked there?
What?
Who did you like that worked there?
Craig Worthing.
Okay.
Anybody else? Lynn Russell. Lynn Russell, that's on Headline News now.
How about Irv Schindler?
Irv was what he was. I don't even know if he's still alive.
Did you like working with him? Or how about Sonny Hirsch?
What about Sonny Hirsch?
Did you like Sonny Hirsch?
Yes.
Okay.
And what is the point? What are the point of these questions? What does this mean?
What's the point of the show? I mean, I'm just asking questions.
No, but why? Why do you care about who I worked with at KAT 23 years ago? What does that mean? Do you know if Irv Schindler is still alive?
No, that's why I was asking you. I thought you'd know because you're in the industry.
Well, we'll take it because I'm in the industry. I'm not in the industry, sir. I work at QAM. Haven't you noticed? And have a nice day. Here's a guy that's got, I mean, he was, no wonder he liked Bill Smith. Coma man. Coma. Boring, monotone. That's you, sir. Too bad we can't bring Bill Smith back. You'd probably listen to that goddamn show now that Sandy, the lovely lady, is off. See, that's the problem. We're probably getting some of Sandy's drift off. The 10 people that she had listening on Waxy. Now that bitch is off the air. Lovely lady. Oh, give me a break already, will you? Irv Schindler, dead or alive. Prescott Robinson, dead or alive. Steve Daly. I keep asking these things. Does anybody in the audience ever respond? No. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Yeah, Bill Smith and I had dinner last night, by the way, at Denny's. And he picked up the check. You believe that, sir?
No.
Well, just make up some stories. It'll make you feel better. Irv Schindler was over at my house. We had Passover Seder together, okay? We had matzah and we had a couple of bacon cheeseburgers on the side. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What is it with these people? It's probably somebody that you work with.
They have no life, sir. They have no life.
They're trying to validate themselves, see if maybe it's somebody that you knew wanted you to mention them, that you do like them.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. The advantage
part. I honest to God don't even know if Irv Schindler is alive yet. He was an old guy when I worked with him 20 years ago. He's very likely not even with us anymore, so to speak.
Right.
He's up there in that big place in the sky that my doctor kept referring to yesterday.
Hey, the Advantage bars. Have you tried the coconut one?
No, I'm not into coconut.
No, you don't like coconut?
I mean, it's okay, but I'm not crazy about coconut. Why? Is it good?
That's about the only one that I can take a bite of.
That you can tolerate. That you can tolerate. Don't you think that's the right word, tolerate?
That's it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not going to enjoy these. Anybody who says you're going to enjoy this, they must be a moron.
I can't turn the show off because I'm hoping somebody else will call in and say, hey, try this, because a year on the Atkins and
how are you doing on the diet?
60 pounds.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I'm doing great, but I'm jonesing it for some sugar.
I know. It was for something with some taste, something that's like a carbohydrate. That's where this guy, Atkins, is great, but that's the one area where he has really fallen down. They haven't come up with good, I mean, like I said before, how much cheesecake does anybody want, you know? They haven't come up with a lot of good products with a whole line of stuff that are good substitutes for like a snack. What can you eat for a snack? You can't make a steak for a snack. How many goddamn Slim Jims can you eat with all that sodium nitrate to begin with? You know, how much of that crap can you eat?
Right, that stuff is good, and I enjoy eating it, but you need the sugar.
You need not the sugar, but you need something sweet, something
sweet.
with that's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll work on it, pal.
I'll keep listening.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, he's right about these. In fact, I'm just finishing this one, and these are not big bars. They're about the size of a like a Clark bar, maybe. Wouldn't you say? I do like Clark bars, though. See, that goes back to all your God bull crap again, Dr. Mark, with your God crap that you were giving me yesterday in between all your hyperventilating, and how come there's people with that door open out there?
Because we don't have a window, I'll bet.
Who just closed it now that I'm ripping them an ass. This is a radio show. I know it doesn't sound like one. It doesn't look like a real radio station. It's a radio show going on here, okay? Keep the goddamn door closed. We're not operating a goddamn guided tour now, okay? Stay away from us. We're busy licking our fingers off because it looks so grotesque.
These work, though.
These work what?
I don't want to eat anything all day.
Oh, I may never eat again after eating this. I'm serious. These are caca, baby. And I was going to go, thank God I couldn't find them. Because you know me, I would have bought like about 100 of them. I would.
And thrown 99 of them away.
Exactly. I would have thrown 99 and a half of them away. Now, I can't wait to try the almond brownie hound one, which I'm going to do in a moment. Huh?
What did you have, the peanut butter?
That'll fix me up the rest of the week. If I eat that, I'll probably be busy for weeks. Come on, all you Atkins people out there. Let's give us some alternatives to this swill. To this almond brownie hound garbage, okay? Inquiring minds want something good. I go to my doctor who's totally out of his mind, I think certifiable yesterday, needs to be put in a rubber room for a few days and cool out. Crazy man. Then I come on here today and screaming and carrying on about these damn things because supposedly, time passes. Like everything else, it passes. And you forget just how grotesque tasting these things were. Oh. And with all due respect to my close personal friend, whoever, this is the guy that gave us the Boca Burgers. Says, I gave you Boca Burgers. There's Pez. Did you get Pez in here also?
Yes, I'll
Pez
be
for
giving
you.
those away.
Well, at least you got something worthwhile that you might eat. In fact, don't put them all away.
Radio 560, WQAM, Fort Lauderdale.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
And now the League of Retarded Citizens will perform their rendition of Green Onions. Don't make fun. They worked very hard for this.
Oh, am I in shock? 2 minutes after 1 at 560 WQM. I cannot believe I'm punching up the line in here. This has to be a put-on. Can this really be the real Irv Schindler?
Exactly. I've been in Kosovo trying to arrange for you to bounce over there and settle that set.
You mean you finally got out of China, huh?
Yep. Got out of China, and now I'm going to take care of Kosovo with your kind permission, of course.
Well, of course.
Yep.
How you doing, Irv?
I'm doing very good, Neil.
God,
I'm having trouble with my back, but
Irv must have just celebrated his 110th birthday, I would think.
Well, that's my goal, Neil. You got it confused.
Yeah.
It's my goal. I haven't got there yet.
So what happened?
I got a long time to go.
I hope so. Did somebody call and tell you that we were speaking about you?
Yeah, I got a phone call a few minutes ago and Neil said, is he alive? Where is he?
Because I know you wouldn't have been listening. That much I know.
You're right.
Right.
It's not because I have any objection to your program. It's simply that I'm so busy making money in this market that I don't really know what to do. I think I'm going to lose it in a month or two.
Well, that's okay.
When everything collapses. But right now it looks so good.
Yeah. Well, the Nasdaq's down 15, so I'm not too excited right at the moment. I got my CNBC on here. I'm watching.
So what are you doing besides entertaining people?
That's basically it, Irv. I travel all around the world. I haven't been to China or Kosovo yet, but they're next on my list.
Well, stay away from Kosovo.
Yeah. for this week.
Yeah, and before you go to China, call me. I've been there 8 times.
Yeah. What about Amsterdam? Have you been there, Irv?
I've been to Amsterdam, but I was always with my wife, so I never went to the red light district except to observe it from a car.
Now, what about Rome? I would think that a good traveler like you would have had a great time.
Rome is marvelous.
Isn't that the best?
Rome is marvelous. Yeah. In fact, I had dinner with some people the other night that live there, and they have there are wealthy people there. They have a exquisite new condominium in Key Biscayne.
Yeah.
A villa up in Tuscany, and spend the rest of the time in Rome.
Yeah. Well, there's that old saying, when in Rome, do the Romans. So I've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Irv, it's great hearing from you.
It's good to hear from you. And if you want to call me sometimes, I'm listed.
Excellent.
And I'll be glad to talk to you further, Neil.
Okay, Zagazun.
Good luck with your program.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Oh, my God. Can you believe that? Can you believe it?
Oh, my God.
So, like I said, thanks to that guy that called before and brought up all those old names. Now, who are the other names he brought up? Oh, Bill Smith. Do we want to hear from Bill Smith?
No.
Because I like Irv. Irv's a good guy. Old, but I mean a real good guy. And he had that travel thing going all the time, trying to get people to go to China. But he's a good guy. But Bill Smith, I don't know, and I don't want to know. And Sid Levin, well, maybe he'll come to my funeral too, because I don't hear from him no more. Because I'm not, I got to be disgusting on the air, and I do this thing I do now, and I'm making a lot of money, and I'm not doing that old, boring establishment swill. But nevertheless, it gave me my first break in the market, so I should be grateful for that, which I am. But other than that, have a nice life, Sid, Mr. Establishment. He's a good guy. So let me tell you, speaking of Sid, about Lynn Russell. Oh, I'm sorry. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT. Okay, will you talk to Irv Schindler? Oh, boy. That's our poll question. Which put you in a coma more? My talking to Irv Schindler, who's a nice guy but fairly old, or the story about the famous from Howard Kleinberg? I liked reading that thing about the famous, okay? The audience obviously did not. They were disgusted and revolted by that because they wouldn't know the famous restaurant from Uranus, okay?
Rectum.
Right. Speaking of what I just said, these Advantage bars, I dare one person in this audience, okay? I dare you. Let's do a thing like little kids do, I double dare you to call this show and say that the Atkins Advantage bars, that you like them, okay? I dare you to say, because we will trace the call, and after the guy with the rubber, from the rubber room with the butterfly in it, after he gets a hold of my doctor first, then we'll have him come and get you. You'll be next on the list. Seriously, I'm gonna puke is what I'm gonna do. God.
Like them compared to what?
Compared to that. And you know something? I don't want to gross you out. It's after lunchtime. I would have rather picked up those underwear that I left at the Eaton Center restroom on Sunday in Toronto and had lunch off of those after I had my little mishap. I would have rather had that than this. I mean, is there anybody who has the audacity to tell me, now they do fill you up, they're filling. I don't know if they're filling or they just make you nauseous. I love Dr. Atkins. I'm a big proponent of his diet. I mean, it works if you can stick with it, and et cetera and so on. But I will not, for love or money, I'm not going to come on here and tell you something's good if it's a piece of crap. And believe me, this isn't even good enough to be identified as a piece of crap. My golden retriever leaves big bombs in the backyard every day that I'm sure are much more appetizing than this. I'm not going to check it out myself, but, I'm halfway through the Brownie Hound bar. Aptly named, by the way, because it looks like and tastes like brownies.
They fill you up because you have to use a gallon of water just to
wash it down.
Yeah.
I mean, there is I can't describe it. There is kind of like a rancid, raunchy, rotten taste that goes along with these that is not to be believed.
And it's not animal or vegetable.
What is it? Besides Drek. I mean, seriously, I love you, Dr. Bob, and my good friend Bob Lincoln over there. We once went to Vegas and had a nightmare doing it, But these Advantage bars, and then the same thing happened last year. Why would I like them now? Are they any different than they were then?
No.
It's the same crap. They are inedible. Now, I'm going to get through this second one, and I'm going to get this will time. It makes you sick to your stomach. Okay? Maybe that's part of the reason that these things work on the diet. You become so nauseous, you feel your kishkis are just twisting from nausea.
Have you belched yet?
I couldn't. Because it would all go back at you.
If you think the aftertaste is good, just wait till the repeater happens.
And then just wait. Oh, boy. Wait till that. 9 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM.
Get the honey, Junior.
I like Lobschinkugels. Pardon? Little pie with chocolate chip ice cream. Pound cake with chocolate chip ice cream is good. Ring dings. And chocolate chip ice cream. Wait, chocolate swirl ice cream, even better.
That's nothing. Did you ever suck the jelly out of a jelly donut and then fill it with chocolate swirl ice cream?
I like to stuff a jelly donut with Reese's peanut butter cup. Then put it in a warm oven and let the chocolate and everything melt into the dough. How about peanut butter and jelly on a chocolate-covered graham cracker?
With thin layers of banana on top.
Could I have a little lemon in my water, please? I make chocolate chip cookies with M&M's instead of chocolate chip.
They don't melt in your hand.
Yeah. Junior, can I have a little more lemon in my hot water, please? Still up a lot of lemon?
No, I'd like a little fresh orange juice squeezed in mine if you got it.
No, sorry.
Okay, then lemon.
At Crohn's, they got chocolate-covered orange wedges. The juice just dribbles down your chin. Junior, could I have just a drop of honey in this, please? Just a drop. A wedge of the actual fruit is covered with that thick, dark chocolate. You know?
Oh, boy. How'd you like to stuff one of them in a donut?
Get the honey, Junior.
Give him the honey, Junior.
It's in the cupboard, Tom. Well, get it. What else do they cover with that chocolate? I mean, besides the orange wedges? Grapes? Peaches? Strawberries. Junior, the honey. Those big, juicy stem strawberries are dipped into that dark, dark chocolate.
Get the honey. Get the honey.
I know.
Seriously, this is the worst swill. And just to show you what a trooper I am, because I don't want to prejudge one of each. There's 3 different flavors. Chocolate macadamia, I had that. Unbelievable. What was the other one? The almond brownie hound? Had that. Inedible. Now we got, I mean, it's only 2.6 grams per bar of carbs, so 3 of them is like 7.8 grams. And after this turd one, and I do mean you turd one, I won't be eating for a week. That's how this works. Now, what kind is this? Peanut butter Drek? Chunky peanut butter. As in, you'll be hurling chunks when you finish eating this if you can. I have never had anything so rancid, so gross in my mouth. And believe me, I've had plenty of things in my mouth in my life, but never anything. Oh, God. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Oh, hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to let you know about a possible substitute for that stuff of yours.
Oh.
Because I had the mistake of doing that, and
this is the most foul-tasting
Drek is a compliment.
Exactly. Drek. The word Drek is insulted by using that applied to this.
Yeah, and you might like this because Walgreens just started carrying them. They're the pure protein bars.
The one that have all the carbohydrates in them that I checked out last night at Walgreens?
Yeah, but they have this. Oh, you did check it out last night?
They're loaded with carbohydrates, right?
Yeah, I think it was 11 grams for one of them. But if you want something to help you get past the sugar fix, that chocolate mousse and the chewy chocolate chip will definitely highlight your day.
Chocolate mousse what?
It's like white chocolate mousse.
You mean the protein bar?
Yeah, the pure protein. They came out with these flavors, like 2 of them, 2 new flavors, and they are incredible.
Well, I guess 11 grams isn't bad if you're not going to eat much of any other carbs the rest of the day, maybe a salad.
Oh, yeah, but it's like a dessert. It is nice.
But at least it's good, though, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's because I do the Atkins relatively strict. You know, I cheat 1 day a week to keep myself sane.
So in other words, you have tried these Advantage bars?
Made that mistake one time.
Oh.
Almond brownie. Oh, it felt like I just put my mouth in Crisco.
Oh, my God.
And I just took a handful of lard and swallowed it. It was the same exact feeling.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. God bless you.
All right, good luck, my friend.
And keep it up.
All right.
So there's a suggestion for you. Just check the carbs on the back. The protein bar in Walgreens. Okay, I'll check that one out. Because the idea, and I'm going to finish all three of them here just to show you. What? It is going to make me tremendously ill.
You're a braver man than I.
No, just dumber, not braver, dumber. The good news is, though, because there's a silver lining in the middle of even the darkest cloud, they were for free, baby. Oh! That's the South Florida way. They were for free, okay?
Oh!
Oh, man. Let me say it again. I challenge one person out there in the audience to call this show. Of course, your wife likes him. But we know she's got crappy taste. She married you.
Yeah.
You said
no, it's the same dilemma.
Meaning what?
We're on the Atkins, and she wants something to nosh on during the day. I mean, when you get to
you said
in the middle
she
of the day.
brings him home by the bagful. She's eating these left and right, you said.
Yeah. In lieu of real food.
Oh, come on. There's got to be,
she actually does like the
got to be more to life than the Atkins Advantage bar, boys and girls. There must be more to life than this. You see, again, if you believe in this God bull crap, how come everything that tastes good is loaded with carbohydrates? And makes you fat and sick and die, huh?
All right, which one is the least bad?
There's no such thing. There is no such thing. In fact, you know something? I'm starting to develop a little cramp without the M. I'm having another Toronto-like experience, I think, any minute now. But don't have too far to go down the hall to make it. Oh, this is... Oh, I'm not eating this. Are you crazy? Straight in the wastebasket. Like I have to prove a point here by eating three sticks of Drek? Here's a mobile in Bonita Springs. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay, sir, I'm getting sick as a dog.
I hear that. Hey, I'm just down here working. I'm from the Tampa area, and we miss you very much in that area.
Yeah, well, I wish we could say it was mutual.
Oh, jeez.
Don't take it personal, yeah.
We got a guy on the radio up there in a sports show during the day that rips off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, good. Say hi to him. Okay, thanks. Okay, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. See, we're not going to have any takers on this Advantage bar thing. This audience has hopefully got better taste than that. Even the people like vanilla ice cream wouldn't eat those things on a bet. Here's Naples. Hello.
Yo, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You got to go out and try the coconut chocolate one.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm serious.
No.
I bought all 4 flavors,
yeah.
And the other 3 are exactly as you said.
Yeah.
They taste like aspartame and
no, they don't. I
Vaseline.
Like aspartame. Well, yeah, now you're getting close. Yeah.
But I'm serious.
Aspartame and Vaseline. That's very well put. Yeah.
Have you guys tried the coconut one?
I don't have no coconut one. Maybe that's the only good
It's
one.
worth going out
Maybe that's
and
why they
finding
pawned the rest of this crap off on us, because the only good one must be out.
Yeah, that's crap. It's garbage.
Crap, I'm telling you, sir, crap is not in the same category as this.
And what
crap is fine cuisine compared to this.
Have you tried the like in the book where it says eat some Diet Jello with some whipped cream?
Oh, I went through the Diet Jello with whipped cream till I got Jello coming out of my ears, out of my pores. If I ever see any more Diet Jello or cheesecake, I'm going to barf.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thanks, pal.
Bye.
See you in Napoli. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Killer carbohydrates. The only problem is God made everything else taste pretty bad. How come we can't get like a hot fudge sundae on fish food with thick gobs of hot fudge and whipped cream and marshmallow on top and have no carbs, huh? How, God? You bastard God, you no good, miserable, sadistic son of a bitch. How come you did this to us, huh? And then it made us every now and then have a in our pants to top it all off, huh? Just as kind of like the frosting on the cake, so to speak. Kind of looked like the frosting on the cake. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Found a great dessert for you. In Boca Raton, there's a fat-free cheesecake.
No more cheesecake, sir. No more cheesecake. And he said fat-free. Sir, let me say it again. Fat-free is for assholes, okay, sir? Don't take it personally unless it does happen to apply. Fat-free is for idiots. Fat-free is a fraud, okay? Fat-free is crap. They had a piece on CNN here a couple of days ago about fat kids in America. It's not only the adults like us who are getting fat, but now it was a frightening, a terrifying number of fat kids. Not just teenagers, but like young kids who are big and fat. And you know, I want to say this to you right now, okay? All you parents out there it's bad enough that you're fat, But you parents that walk around with your fat kids, shame on you.
Child abuse.
I don't want to mention no names of somebody that was in here a few days ago with his fat son, who seemed like a real nice kid if he didn't weigh 10,000 pounds. Fat parents have fat kids. Am I right?
Yes.
Or what? I guess they want their kids to be as sick as they are. Man, having your kid walk around waddling around and everybody else in school is making fun. Hey, Johnny's a fat little pig. Hey, Porky. Terrible. Shame on you. If you'd feed Johnny one or two of these Atkins bars, he wouldn't eat for a month. Just stick one of those in his lunchbox, man. Johnny will spend most of the afternoon at school on his hands and knees, puking his brains out. Here's a mobile in Pompano. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Bill.
sir.
I like the Atkins bar.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Matter of fact, I just got the wrapper in front of me of the...
Oh, my God. Well, if I could only paraphrase what this guy just said, okay, because I can't put it on the air. What's wrong with this thing now? Oh, here we go. What is wrong with this thing? It's not even worth it now. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he said,
it'll make you shit,
is what he said. God, I'm getting really deathly ill, and I only ate a little, just about a third of that last bar, that one you were telling me was so great, the peanut butter one.
I didn't say it was
I don't even like peanut butter. I like peanut butter by itself. You know what I mean? Like, I could eat peanut butter. Huh? I do. I like chunky peanut butter, which I haven't eaten it in years, and it's not good for you, but I could eat it out of the jar, like with a spoon.
Used to do that.
But like peanut butter ice creams and peanut butter stuff, oh, horrible. It's like mushrooms. I love mushrooms. But I don't like mushrooms on pizza. Can't stand shrooms on pizza. In fact, those magic mushrooms like they have in Amsterdam, those are pretty good. Oh, man, where am I? I feel like Admiral Stockdale. Mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, that shroom tea's pretty good, too. I'm suffering the same thing as you with the Atkins. It's good to hear something that lets you get through the day.
Oh.
I wanted to call and thank you for the tickets for Sunday for the Marlins game.
Yeah, how
I
was
went by and saw Chris in that certain part of town, and I actually had a good time. I bought my girlfriend and my daughter, and we had a good time. I understand that they're not drawing flies, so when I hear the stadium talk, it's out of control. So, but I just wanted to call and thank you. I had a really good time.
Okay, glad you're the one.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks. There's a guy that we gave free tickets to the Marlins. He actually had a good time. Nice going, sir. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We're discussing. Oh, we're not discussing. We're disgusting is what we are with these things. Oh, gross. Gag me with a prune, baby. I'd rather have if this is all I had to eat, this is the honest truth. If this is what was my cuisine for the rest of my life, I'd rather have my taste buds scraped and just drink liquid protein. You know what I'm saying? Just sip it through a straw. Far preferable to eating this swill, this unidentifiable, this unacceptable, this grotesque doo-doo, caca, crap. I mean, you want a mouthful of... Oh, that's the wrong thing, yeah. Have you ever been to a Beepermania store, by the way, speaking of that?
I'll bang you in the butt, honey.
I can't take too much butter. It shoots right out my ass.
Rectum.
Pepper and paprika blew me to the can. I can't take too much butter. I can't take it at all. My ass burns from olestra and especially sorbitol. I can't take too much butter. It goes through me too fast. Every time I eat it, I have to change my pants. I can't take too
Yeah,
much
it's either that butter, the oil, and the omelet Sunday morning, or the combination of that and all that chewable vitamin C I took the night before. You know what happens when you take too much vitamin C, especially the chewable vitamin C?
It'll make you shit.
Wow. 132 at 560 WQAM. So George tells me that we've been getting all these calls off the air. Oh, that guy was right. You got to try that coconut bar, that Advantage bar, because what's better than a piece of coconut in it, huh? Here's a pig report in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil. Major pig report.
Yes, sir.
Southbound Sawgrass, the commercial. You got DOT, you got FHP, you got BSO, you got the whole world.
Excellent.
Also, big asses in sports. Did anybody mention Kirby Puckett?
Yes.
Oh, they did?
You know what they say to Kirby Puckett? Just say, have a nice day. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I apologize profusely, by the way, because I have a very, I have an audience out there. They're very susceptible to suggestion. And I talked about and the only reason I mentioned the Advantage bars is because I don't want to mention George was the one who turned me on to that again, about how Crystal is buying those by the sackful, and about how, whatever you said.
By the sackful, and I keep asking her why.
You know what? It tastes like a sackful of that, is what it tastes. And what does she say?
She goes, okay, you got to eat something.
Why?
Oh, God. I'm serious. If I would have my tongue just chopped, just all the buds scraped off. That's how bad they are. Here's a mobile in Miami Lakes. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you remember me. I'm the guy that gave you the big stack of cassettes one day in IOD, the sound effects.
Oh, yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've recently become diabetic myself, and I thought I would ask you a couple of questions. What do you recommend for a snack? You know, like things with no carbs, because I've been looking at things and reading things very, very carefully lately.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, I know I can drink Diet Coke. It's got no carbs.
With no caffeine.
Right.
But you say right. Make sure it's no caffeine Diet Coke.
Okay.
Because like if you go on a plane or you go into a restaurant and you get Diet Coke, it's always going to be with caffeine.
Okay.
And a lot of people that screws up your whole diet, and you're not going to lose any weight like me.
Okay. Well, I'm 6'1" and 198, so weight is not a problem. It's just keeping my sugars regulated.
Right.
Do you have any recommendations? I mean, I know I can have like that sugar-free Jello and stuff.
Yeah,
like
you can have that, or you can have some Slim Jims, or like cheese.
Okay. All right. Well,
there's not a lot. I mean, I wish I could tell you something really exciting, but there's not a lot.
Yeah, I know. My mom says I'm going to probably be starving the rest of my life.
That's not true.
Well,
go to Ruth Chris and have one of those gigantic ribeye steaks. You won't be starving.
Well, I also got to watch my cholesterol too. That's kind of high.
See, and again, you got the wrong doctor, because the Atkins diet in most cases reduces your cholesterol. See, you've been brainwashed, sir. I feel bad, because obviously your doctor's a jackass.
Well, it's I noticed that.
Wait, listen. I want you to do me this, okay? It's only going to cost you about $3 or $4 because it's in paperback, $5-6. Go to your bookstore and get the Atkins book. I'm begging you to do it for yourself.
Okay.
Dr. Atkins' New Diet Revolution. Even though you're not on a diet, it's the best thing. Or better than yet, since you are diabetic, go to the same bookstore. It's hardcover. It's a little more expensive. Dr. Bernstein, that Diabetes Solution book, right up your alley.
Okay.
Trust me.
All right, Neil.
The best investment you ever made in your life.
I appreciate it.
Okay, good luck, pal.
Thanks, buddy.
See ya. Yeah, see, God, he does all these things because he works in mysterious ways. That God, and I know I'll see you in heaven, Dr. Mark. Although after yesterday's hour and a half over there, I don't think you'll be there. I cannot, words escape me. Even a verbal tactician like yours truly cannot find the words to describe the hour and a half that I spent with my doctor yesterday. And when I walked out of there, I kept thinking to myself, who was the doctor and who was the patient? Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
How you doing? First time, long time.
Yes, sir. And he must have just got cut off. He must have just got clipped. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami Lakes. Hello.
Hello, Neil Rogers?
Speaking.
I have heard you for quite a long time now, and I finally decided to call you today.
Yes, sir.
The way you express yourself about God tells me one thing about your persona. You must have had a very
very sad childhood.
No, I did not.
I'm pretty sure that your mom used to force you to go to the synagogue.
No, she did not. We were not religious at all. No, my mom didn't force me to go, nor did she go.
I mean, incredible the way you express yourself about God.
Because, in other words, because I have a different opinion, I don't believe all the phony baloney stuff that you do.
It's not a matter of...
What is it, sir? What is it incredible about? What's incredible about it to you?
Well, bottom line is...
You believe in Santa Claus?
No, I don't believe in Santa Claus.
You believe in the Tooth Fairy?
No, I don't.
Do you believe in the little green guy under the bed and goblins?
No, I don't.
Gremlins?
No, I don't.
Do you believe in angels?
No, I don't.
So then how can you believe in God?
Because of looking at the sky, looking at everything...
Do you believe in nature?
Of course I believe in nature.
So what do you need God for? Why do you got?
Okay, then can you answer me one question?
No.
You can't.
What is it? How do I know if you don't ask me the question?
Okay, how did we get here?
I haven't got any idea. Do you?
Do
you know how we got here, sir?
I know how
we got here. Do you know how we got here? Don't give me of course. Do you know how we got here?
We were created.
Do you know how we got here, sir?
I'm telling you.
No, don't tell me. Don't reach for an answer because you know that I got you trapped into a box. Do you know how we got here? Yes or no?
Yes.
And?
We were created.
By?
God.
Which is what?
All powerful.
Oh, God. Yeah, then how come we're eating Atkins bars? Yeah, there you go. Jackass. No, we were created. How did we get here? How did we get here? I mean, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How did we get here? Sir, you waste the rest of your life worrying about stupid questions like that. How did we get here? And I'll worry about the rest of my life worrying about what am I going to do now that I'm here? Until that magical day when it all ends because God works in mysterious ways. Just amazes him the disgusting way I speak about God. Damn it. Several open lines all of a sudden after that debacle. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. All right, don't forget, snakes and mosquitoes and cockroaches and every kind of vermin under the sun God made.
All of these things.
And then some. We got 50 million open lines. Hank was just in here telling me about he almost had a coronary hair nerve Schindler on the air. I mean, we feel a lot better about that, Hank and I. Because we're like teenagers compared to Irvin. If he's still around, there's hope for all of us, baby.
Oh!
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let's hear from some more of the God people, okay? And I'll tell you one thing, if you ever eat one of those Advantage bars, and you can call me afterward and say you still believe in God, then I'll give you credit. Then I'll say, now there's somebody with the courage of their convictions. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
I had one of those brownie hounds, and hound is definitely the operative word on that bar.
Yeah.
That was
as in
rectum.
God. How could seriously, when you make a product, you know what I'm saying? When a company manufactures a product and they taste it, they experiment in the lab and they put all the ingredients together, how could anybody have manufactured those things,
All of these things.
And tasted them and said, oh yeah, well the public will love these, let's package them now.
One word, recycled toilet paper.
Oh, God. Even Mr. Whipple wouldn't touch these.
Can I ask you a question about the Atkins, because I'm not really too familiar, but what do you think about, nuts? And I'm not making a joke about it. I mean,
I like nuts myself.
But
depending on what they're attached to.
Is there certain types that you can't eat, or I don't know. I was looking at some of the packages, and some of them
in fact, when it comes to
nuts,
like
about 4 or 5
when it comes to nuts, I always say
Ray Whitney has a pair.
But anyway, well, no, in the book he'll tell you that you have to be careful. You can have a limited amount of nuts, but a few cashews, a few macadamias, but you can't overdo it because they're loaded with carbohydrates.
But they also got that CoQ something.
CoQ10.
Yes, which you need.
Which I'm taking.
Which is excellent.
Which is great. You're right. But you can take that in a supplement without taking the carbohydrates. So you're just looking to take the nuts as an excuse so that you can say, "Oh, I'm taking it for the CoQ10." I mean, a few nuts are okay, but don't overdo it.
No, I mean, I'm not diabetic, or I'm not, extremely overweight or nothing. But
Yeah.
I'm just.
Well, then why are you interested in the Atkins?
Because I don't like all the sugars, and I'm trying to lose some fat content.
Right.
Bring it down from 19 or 20%, possibly down to 15, 14%.
Yeah. Well, these Advantage bars will do it. You won't eat for weeks. You'll look like Ichabod Crane in about a month.
Right. You'll be skinny and.
In fact, you know something? I bet you the last solid meal that Karen Carpenter ate was a Dr. Atkins Advantage bar.
I will never eat that again.
I bet you that's what put her right over the edge.
If that was my last, I was, in prison for murder, and that was going to be my last meal, I'd just tell him to go ahead and pull this away.
Exactly. Just get it over with.
Thanks
Okay, pal. 5670560, pound 560. Whoever turned us out of this crap, by the way, Like Bernard Getz said, there's another one for it. And another one. Oh, man. Oh, but you got to try the coconut ones. They're really great. See, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit reluctant. After eating these other 2 plus a part of the turd, and I do mean...
You turd.
What was the third one? The peanut butter Drek one? Peanut butter diarrhea? Oh, God. Seriously. I want you to think of the worst meal you've ever had in your life. If you can single one out. We've all had some pretty bad. Think of the absolute worst swill that's ever been pawned off on you as a meal. Multiply times 100, and now you're starting to get warm. You're not close yet. You're starting to get close. Just a little close. To just how grotesque, how terminal, how unbelievably bad. And now you see that guy that called before that is Mr. Fine or whatever his name was, Mr. Not So Fine. He's going to be psychotic. Oh, my God, you're going to kill. Well, you know something? I cannot tell a lie. Not about a little lie, maybe, but not a lie like this. You talk about credibility. Even Bubba's nose never grew that much. Oh, jeez. I mean, this stuff, my dogs wouldn't touch these. Forget about with their mouth. They wouldn't touch it with their...
Rectum.
No. They wouldn't come close to it. Here's a mobile in Lauderhill. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How are you?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I tried those Advantage bars. I tell you, the coconut is probably the best of the bunch, but they are the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, they truly are the worst. The only thing that I've enjoyed out of that Delights is their ice cream. But every time I eat that ice cream, I stop losing weight. I don't gain any weight.
Yeah.
I just stop losing
Yeah,
it.
that's true. But don't forget, Delights didn't make these. These are made by the Atkins, for the Atkins program.
The ice cream themselves?
No, I'm talking about the Advantage
The Advantage bars. Yeah, well, they sell a lot of the products in there, and I tell you, I've tried most of the stuff they carry.
Yeah.
And, I just as soon stick with the Jell-O. Even though I'm sick of it, I stick with the Jell-O. Sometimes I'll just eat the whipped cream.
Yeah.
I'll just stick the whipped cream in my
Yeah,
mouth.
all you do is just shake the whipped cream thing up, get one of those big ones with some of them have 0 carbs, and you shake it up and you tilt the nozzle down and you suck it right out of the tube.
Exactly.
I mean,
But
it's
as far as
disgusting,
the
but-
Advantage bars, I don't know how he markets those things where people actually buy them. And they're expensive, too. They're not cheap.
Oh, thank God I got these for free.
Yeah, they're like $3 a piece.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're
$3
not
a
cheap.
pop?
Are you sure?
$3 a pop.
Oh.
And they also sell some, there's like a fluid they sell. It tastes like a Gatorade. It's called a fat burner. It's made by some place up in Coral Springs. And that stuff's pretty,
Oh, I do
hard
like,
to drink.
I like that stuff.
Yeah, it's really good, but that's also expensive.
Where the
I
hell-
deliver to the place. I drive a truck for a living. I deliver to the place that manufactures that.
But I do know what you're talking about. That's pretty good stuff.
And
It's
yeah, it
actually
really is. But all that diet stuff is expensive.
crap. Yeah, it's crap.
You know,
Okay,
it's crap
good luck,
and it's
Val. Good luck
yeah,
to us
good
all.
luck to both of us. Huh?
Okay, see ya.
Take care, Neil.
Good luck to us all, like little tiny Tim said. Because God has, the big fix is in, okay? If you like it, you're going to get sick, you're going to get fat, you're going to die. Because that's the way God works. Because like I keep telling you over and over again, He's one sadistic mother, baby. He just sitting up there laughing up his sleeve. In fact, if you pick up one of those, you go into your bookstore and pick up one of those disease books, that's got, well, it's mainly for physicians. But if you're a hypochondriac like I am, you can sit around, kill a lot of good time at home, reading about all these various diseases every time you have like a little pain. And you'll open that thing up and you'll be astonished at all the thousands and thousands and thousands of diseases that exist. Things that you never heard of before. And don't forget, God made
all of these things.
That's right. Well, He gets pissed off every now and then,